gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4-5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Tasting color, seeing sound with a crystal eye. Turning nothing into something when we alchemize. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots of this proof. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Phantom black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy implode. We are not alone. If you're not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the I gotta hold on to this feeling. I'll be seeing visions through the folds of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we out here making music with the paranormal movement that's stronger than what you deal with. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. Utilizing the truth, drop it off in the hood. Show 'em what's really good, the feeling is understood. We know just what it means to get it by all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you're not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the
Peace and love, everybody out there. This is Paranormal Hood.
I think we're back. Oh, we back?
We live? I'm alive?
I think we're live.
You alive? Am I alive?
Hold on.
We're
Check,
alive?
check. All right.
What happened? Did we die? We're
All right.
alive?
Sorry, folks. I
Are we
don't know what it
dead?
is tonight. It's just one of them nights.
Are we in the Matrix?
Motherfucking tube of you is acting up. It is what it is. You're kind of into this deja vu. What's up, Michelle? Welcome. What's up, Dex? Good to see you, brother. UFO Gandalf. 9, Eland. Good to see you. Thank you, folks. Give everybody a minute to catch up. We don't have to fucking repeat ourselves 300 times. Yeah. You guys check out the last... What do you say? You can hear me, right? Everybody can hear us? We should be here. Hold on. Let's make sure they can hear us. You can hear us? All right, cool. We talking about Giants. And I was saying, when I went to Mexico, and the motherfuckers kept calling me Mike Tyson. But to be honest with you, when I was there, too, there was actually... what the fuck is his name? He played for the Giants. He was a tight end who actually walked right up to me. Because it's happened to me more than once with actual motherfuckers who play in the NFL. Because they've seen me over the years doing security, especially if it was like an athlete from Boston. I have one of those faces. They see me, they remember me. And they've walked up to me like, yo, what team you playing for and shit. I'm like, these motherfuckers think I play football and shit. They don't realize I'm the dude that fucking, whatever. But yeah, it's hilarious. But in Mexico, that happened to me. Huh? Yeah, this was back, sometime in the early 2000s when I went to Mexico. Because it's funny, too, the whole Mexico trip, I didn't even remember a lot of the shit that I went to see, the ruins and stuff and everything that I went. I kind of forgot about that because I didn't really think too much about it when I did it. And then start doing the Paranormal Hood stuff, I was like, wait a minute. When I went to Mexico and I went to those fucking ruins and all that type of crazy shit I saw. I went fucking snorkeling in, like, caves. Like, it was insane, like, doing that shit. Because once you're in, you're in. There's kind of no getting out of it. I mean, there's emergency ways to get out of it, but, not really. They're kind of there, but not really there. So you're in these, like, kind of, they're not really dark. There's some light that comes in from, like, cracks out there and stuff, but most of the water and stuff, you just kind of go with the flow. It's pretty dope. Don't know if I'll do that shit now, though. Different person. I think I could do it now. It was cool. What did I do for my birthday? Smoked up with the crew. Smoked up with my homies. Spent some time with the grandbaby and stuff. It's not like the old days, like when I would have fucking crazy parties and shit and everything. Like, yeah, no. turning 50, I was just kind of, you know, relax and chill. Do what I do pretty much any other day when I can. Not as much so much now, but, you know, pretty much smoke weed every day. So, it was cool. Thank you, Genocide. Did we die? No, we're here. We're alive. That threw me off. Sorry. What was I just talking about? I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. I'm high and my brain is flooded. Are we good?
They called him the alternate.
Oh, okay. I thought something was wrong because I looked up and I saw some crazy shit on the screen. I know you're about to play some stuff. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Setting up some stuff for you. I'm talking about giants tonight. But yeah, but I mean, dude, it's gone now because there's a fire in my old office. But like all the people I've done security or hung out with and stuff, and like there was a picture like me standing next to Shaq. That's a big motherfucker. Just imagine. I mean, you see how tall I am. Like people are like, yo, you're a big motherfucker. I was like, yeah. What do you say? Yeah, he's like got his like arm like with chilling and shit and everything. He's tall, but he just is like, let's do a picture. All right, cool. Took his fucking picture, and I'm looking up. There's another one like I'm looking up at him. I'm like, yo, like let motherfuckers understand how tall that motherfucker is, even compared to me. Because growing up this shit most of my life, like concerning, especially in school and stuff, to a certain point, I was the tallest fucking kid in class. There's pictures of me when I'm like fucking 4 and 5 years old. When I'm fucking, there's a picture of me, I think I'm like 5 or 6 years old. I don't know how old I am, and I'm fucking at a wedding. And I already got my little, you can see like the outline for the little mustache already starting to fucking come in. Motherfucker had a fucking mustache fucking shadow and shit at a young age.
He's a giant.
I am. I'm a giant. I'm
Bigfoot.
Rest in peace to Ron Brace. But interesting enough, for folks who don't know, there's Ron Brace, who was actually a friend before anything. But he was a friend to the show, and he was really into ParanormalHooD and did investigations and filming and stuff with us. But he also played for the New England Patriots and the Washington Redskins for a brief period of time, Ron Brace. But, fuck. He was, I'm sorry, that's the point. He was saying to me one point that he had did a genealogy test and did all this research about, like, his background, like his family and stuff, when they came from, and had come to find out that his family from somewhere in Africa, they were fucking all like him. Because, I mean, I'm 6'4", but Ron had to be maybe 6'6", maybe. I don't know, maybe he was 6'5", 6'6", somewhere in that area. But he said that all of his relatives and stuff that he traced way back were guards for, like, pharaohs and kings and shit like that. And they were all real tall people, like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". Like, they were big fucking tall people. Like, it ran in his family to be tall. So he said it was just interesting to do that genealogy test and then to do all that run back to find out, how tall these people were and stuff, even back then. Because I'm sure most of the people weren't that fucking tall back then. That's why when you see, like, when you watch the movies and shit, and you'll watch, like, a Spartacus kind of show or whatever, any movie like that, and there's always have, like, the army battles, and there'll be that one dude that will come up, and everybody kind of parts ways for him. And, that motherfucker in the movies looks like he's, like, 8 or 9 feet tall, but in reality, was it somebody back then who was just, like, a 7-foot tall motherfucker? Or was it, like, Andre the Giant? Was it someone who looked like Shaq or some shit who was just a big person?
As we'll see here, we'll try and play this video and see if it works and how much the YouTube will let us fucking play of it. It's possible for humans to get up over 8 feet tall. Close to 9 feet tall. But when you get over 7 feet tall, especially 7.5 feet tall, your lifespan is cut down drastically. You start to have all kinds of problems and stuff like this. And then when you go over 8 feet tall, as we'll see here in this video and stuff, and we'll show a little bit about, I can talk about him and everything like that, and then the other people that are tall and stuff. There are people that's tall, and they're tall for a reason because they have certain conditions and stuff. This is a pituitary gland condition. I believe that Robert Ludlow, he's the world's tallest person on record, 8 feet 11 inches. We know there's tall people. They're tall people, but they're not giants in the sense that David Wilcock and Corey Good and Billy Carson and all these other people talk about giants and all these, so-called stories throughout, the ages and everything like that. Giants are not possible. It's called the square cube law. The bigger you get, the more harder life gets for a human and stuff like that. Your heart can't pump blood up to your head and stuff fast enough. Your lungs can't breathe to keep you so you can breathe and everything. Your body can't hold up its own weight and everything like that. There's all kinds of problems, which we're going to get into a little bit more here in a minute. So that's the reason why we couldn't ever have 12-foot giants, 20-foot giants, 40-foot giants, like people say, and cyclopses, and all these other things that, humans, a whole race of humans that are giants. Yes, again, there's the rare cases, the here and there, where you will have a person that's big, real big. We got a Bigfoot right here. Okay, but he's not, he's only like an inch taller than me, 2 inches taller than me. He's not that much taller than me. You know what I mean? I'm 6 feet. What are you?
6'4".
6'4", so, but still, it's 4 inches. It's not, whoa, look at, he's a giant, you know what I mean? 7 feet, we got the NBA. Look at the NBA and everything. There's a lot of people, but would you say they're giants? No, those are not giants. They're just tall humans, Somebody who's a short person, a really small person and stuff would look at them and be like, and they still wouldn't be a giant because they know and they understand why they're small and this person is bigger and stuff. We have an understanding of that. We know why people get to be about an average height and everything like that, and we know reason why that some people end up being smaller and stuff. Some people grow to be a little taller. Some people to grow be a lot taller than the most average. You know what I mean? 8 feet 11 inches is fucking tall.
Yeah,
that's
tall.
two.
That's,
that's almost 3 fucking feet taller than I am. That's fucking tall and stuff. And he had, like I said, he was a great guy, but unfortunately, he only lived to be 22, and they were surprised and amazed that he lived that long with all the stuff that he had. By the time that he was 12 years old, he was 6 feet tall. He was the size of a full-grown man at 12 years old. But the taller you get like that, especially that when you're young and your balance is off, he fell down a lot. He broke his legs a lot, so he had to wear braces. Your legs don't grow right. Your muscles don't grow right and stuff to be able, again, to support everything. There's just all kinds of problems that come with... Oh, it's going that way. I thought.
Yeah, I get no love.
That come with when you start to get over a certain height. Even people of 7 feet tall, even people 6.5 feet tall have back problems. They have, knee problem, all kinds of, stuff from being that way and having to carry that extra weight and stuff. The average, most people, some of them, the athletes, yeah, they are, but there's people that are that big that they struggle to move around and stuff like that. Those people that are athletes like that are lucky because they stayed and the shape and everything, but they also have to be careful because, again, Shaq fucking falls down.
Dude,
his
his 13-year-old daughter is dunking a basketball. I just watched the video of that shit. His 13-year-old daughter is dunking a basketball. I don't know how tall she is. I know I just saw a video.
Yeah, you have Andre the Giant. He had major health issues. All these people that get over, especially over 7 feet, start to have a lot of health issues and stuff in their life. Expectancy and their life quality is drastically reduced and stuff when you get over that. It's science. There's no way around it. It's the square cube law. It's why the Tyrannosaurus Rex had the little arms in his head the way it was and the way his body was shaped and stuff like that. Bipedal creatures and stuff, they have to have a certain shape and everything, and the way their legs were and their bones and stuff, it just doesn't work. For us to be 12 feet tall, the size of our legs, bones and stuff would have to be like 6 times the size of that. It's just ridiculous when you start to do all the math and everything, how big everything, it doesn't fit in there. Yes, there could be a bipedal, like humanoid thing, but it wouldn't be a human. Like I said, they would be really tall, goofy. I have another video, some other pictures and stuff, what people have done and what you do, and you go by the math of the square cube law for a being that's able to be supported, that walks on 2 legs and everything like that. They don't have a neck or anything like that. Their arms are, their legs are really big, fat legs and stuff. They're really funny looking and stuff like that. But that's so they have the right balance and stuff. To be an actual human and say, oh, that's a human that big. You know what I mean? That's what these people are talking about. We saw these humans, the Patagonian giants and stuff. Then you saw humans on the shore that were fucking 12 feet tall or whatever, and all this stuff. And no, you didn't. For somebody, in order to be 12 feet tall, you wouldn't be like, that's a human right there. But like, that kind of looks like a human, but I don't know. Something happened there. You know, they have all kinds of things and stuff now. So let's see if we can watch a little bit here about the tallest known human on record that we know of, because all the supposed skeletons and bones, which we'll get to some of the videos and some pictures and stuff about that too, that are supposedly showing giant human bones, ancient giants being found, and cyclopses being found. We'll explain all those. They're not real. But this man right here, which we're going to try and see and make sure we can listen to this.
Let's hope you can hear this.
Yeah, I can't see and stuff. I'll take it. Can you hear it on that?
Hold on. No.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix it.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, wait, do I have that thing? Nope, that's on. That's gone. That's on. That's on. Okay, let me try this now.
This was a youth YMCA trip to the world. They called him the Alton Giant. He was born on February 22nd, 1918, 100 years ago, at nearly 9 feet tall.
There you go.
All right, so now I'm going to start it from the beginning.
They called him
Fair
the
use.
Alton Giant. He was born on February 22nd, 1918, 100 years ago, at nearly 9 feet tall. Robert Wadlow went into the record books as the world's tallest man. But he died at the age of 22, so for most of his life, he was a growing boy. Wherever he went, this was a youth YMCA trip to the World's Fair in Chicago in 1933. He couldn't help but attract crowds. And that became his job with St. Louis's International Shoe Company, traveling from town to town, shoe store to shoe store.
But he did consider it a job. He considered it a full-time job. His title...
All right, because we don't want YouTube to be getting all mad at us and stuff again, fair use and stuff. So that's a little bit of Robert Ludlow. Now, I mean, it's I'm not trying to make light or make fun of him or anything like that, but you can see the struggle that he goes through walking and stuff. Now, could you picture an entire race of people like this, an entire group of ancient people like this, and what would they have accomplished? They couldn't. He struggled to carry his suitcases and stuff as he got older and everything like that. He had a rough life. I mean, they tried to make it the best that he could and stuff, but it was not easy, unfortunately, for this man. You know, and now these people are like, there's a whole entire giant race of people inside the earth or in Antarctica, and all these old ancients, they built these things and these steps in, you know, their garden terrace and stuff at Machu Picchu.
So
I'm pretty sure. No,
by scale, the tallest person in the NBA is Taco Fall, I believe, who plays for the Celtics, and he's what, 7'6", maybe 7'6" or 7'7", something like that. So just if you haven't seen him,
he falls.
Yeah, well, I mean, Manute Bol died young. Mm-hmm. Manute Bol, he died young.
A lot of NBA players and stuff like that. They end up being in. You know, having trouble walking, all kinds of stuff. They got these problems. So, now I forgot what I was saying there. No, it's all right.
Yeah, it is funny. I mean, not funny, but yeah, you look at him and see like he looked older and stuff. He walked like an old man. I mean, everything about him. I mean, it's just, you know, he seemed like a really nice person.
Yeah. Okay. So, so can you imagine a race of people like this? This is what a giant person, the biggest person that we know of. This is what they look up. Now, imagine them being a foot taller than this. The struggle that people would go through. Now, picture 12 feet tall. They wouldn't be able to walk. They wouldn't be. They'd be a 6-year-old. You know what I mean? How fast they grow and stuff, do because it's a growth condition. They have extra hormones and stuff going through, so their body just grows and stuff. You know what I mean? Although sometimes they just grow all deformed, and we see that all kinds of things that happen. We know why this happens and stuff, and why he's above average and everything. Even by basketball players and stuff, they have certain overactive glands and stuff at certain ages, and that they just produce bigger things. It's it's abnormal bone growth and stuff. So you couldn't have a giant race of people that used the steps at Machu Picchu, those big huge garden terrace where they grew stuff and everything, because that's how you grow stuff on the side of a mountain. You got to build a wall and make an area flat. So they're not giant steps. You couldn't have giants that big. They wouldn't be able to walk up these steps. Somebody would have to carry them, but there's nobody big enough to carry them. You know? Somebody's got to make them a wheelchair, but nobody could do that because they can barely move. They're like, I can't do it. I got no blood. I'm dizzy. They're hot. They can't pump the blood up there. Can't pump enough blood no matter how hard. To have a heart big enough, their fucking chest would have to be fucking 3 times the size of their fucking. Again, if you go by the square cube law math and draw out what a human would be, the proportions and stuff, and look at it, no, that's not a human anymore. They're no longer a human being. They would be something else.
And the current tallest human being is Sultan Khosan.
Khosan, he's
8 feet, almost 3 inches.
Yep.
251 centimeters.
And we can show a video of him, and he's, again, very difficult for him to move and everything like that, you know what I mean? And Robert Ludlow, for his size and stuff, it's not like he's an overweight person or anything like that, you know? But just the weight of those extra, again, 3 feet, that extra 3 feet that he's carrying around is too much on his body. It's just too much strain on him. His joints is everything is just all the time just strained to the max. Now, how much work can these people get done? Not trying to make fun of them or anything like that. Just trying to put it in perspective of these stories of these giant races of people that built all these temples and all these things everywhere, and they did all this stuff, and, you know, how did they do it?
Do you know who the tallest woman in the world was?
I don't remember her name, and I forget how tall she was too. She was
Elaine Ellen.
Did she make it to 8 feet? Or just about?
She was 7'7" inches.
That's a huge bitch.
Sorry, I had to. Damn. That's a big girl too.
Yep.
Wow. Hold on. She was.
How old did she live? How long did she?
Born June 18th, 1955, and she lived until August 13th, 2008.
Oh wow, yeah. It's not bad though. But she didn't hit over the. But I'm sure she dealt with some issues and stuff like that.
Wow, that's a big woman. Good Lord. Some of these people don't even look real. But yeah, imagine this even being someone who came across a person like that and you lived somewhere.
Yeah, back in the day, they might have seen a giant, a tall person in Patagonia or whatever, and be like, oh shit, and you know how sailor stories go. By the time they get back to fucking port over in England and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, there was giants all over the beach and everything. Really? Okay, cool. How big was that fish you caught? Tell me another whopper. You know what I mean? But
drink a lot of barrels of liquor.
Well, it might have been the rum.
Oh my God, the outhouses were horrifying. If you're talking about for those giant people, I can imagine. Wow. Giants live in flat, hollow earth. The elves told you so. I believe that. That's where they live. Because gravity's different in Middle Earth. See, it's got its own sun and everything. It's got a different gravity, so it can grow giants down there. But that's crazy to think a woman 7'7" inches. Good Lord. Like now, if she could move, like she'd probably be playing in the WNBA. They got like Brittany Griner. They got women in the WNBA who are tall as fuck and they dunk and shit and everything. Like I said, Shaq's daughter. What do you say? No, she's not. I don't think there's a current player in the WNBA. Can you look it up since you got a phone? Help a brother out. Find out. You don't have your phone. You always have your phone. Who the tallest player in the WNBA is?
I thought it was Lisa Leslie. Right?
No, I don't. Is Lisa? I don't even think Lisa Leslie plays anymore. She's retired. Isn't she a commentator now? I just wonder who the tallest woman in the WNBA is. I don't know, 7 foot. Could I date a 7'7" woman? So I'm 6'4", so she would have a foot and 3. And nah, that's a lot. That's a lot of woman. Although I'd be interested to shave her legs though. Can you imagine that was your job? Like she, huh? Like that was like your job. Like I'd take it if it was, especially, shave her legs. Just be like, fuck, what's his name, Bob Ross and shit. Put some happy little clouds, some happy little sheep. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a tall woman, KB, at all. I mean, I'm 6'4". Like, I've dated some tall women and stuff. I mean, but I had a girl who worked for me one time who was an inch taller than me. She played semi-pro football and everything. She was a big girl. So.
Names Maria Alexandrovna Stefanova.
And how tall is she?
6'8".
She's 6'8". That's still 4 inches tall. But hey, boo, don't put no heels on, girl. That was like Tom Cruise and what's her name, Nicole Kidman. She wasn't allowed to wear heels around him because she's like 6 foot tall, and Tom Cruise is like 5'3", I think. KB, you're 5'11". My sister's like 5'10". She wears like a size 10 shoe. I technically wear a 14, but they call me Bigfoot because one foot's bigger than the other. My left foot is the 14, my right foot is a 15 because I have the hardware in it. So my foot grew from that. My ankle, what do you call it? Whatever that is down there below my ankle sticks out a little bit because of screws and everything. Kind of is what it is. So that's how I earned the nickname Bigfoot. So see, I'm the Bigfoot they keep telling y'all about. Y'all want to find Bigfoot, you found him. Got some more video about some giant stuff.
I don't have any video. We got some picture right here.
Okay. I'll show you what we're working with.
All right. Look at, oh shit. Fucking Cyclops skull. What the fuck? Now, what is this? Now, when you first look at that, what does everybody think that is?
That's what I don't even see it.
Let's see it. I'll give you a second.
Yeah, let's make sure you guys see it. Then we'll think we're talking about whatever. All right, there you go. Yeah, they can see it.
So we got the Cyclops skull here. And what is it? Now, if you back in the day, or even right now, if you see that, what would you think that is? Cyclops skull? Some kind of giant skull? Giant humanoid skull?
That looks like something from one of those movies you watch and shit, and it's some creature with a big ass head and shit, and it's got one eye.
I'm mistaken. It's actually 7'2". 7'2".
What? She's the tallest woman in the NBA is 7'2".
Yes. My mistake.
That's a huge bitch.
Nope, it's definitely not a human skull though. But
It's a RoboCop.
it's a cow skull. Those have been mistaken for giant skulls before too. But no, that's a mammoth skull, without the tusks. It's minus the tusks, and that is the skull of a mammoth. It's similar to an elephant skull. So, and obviously people found these, and they've been finding them for a while, and some people mistake it. Especially when they only find this and maybe a leg bone or something like that, and they go off and they mistake it as being a giant, and evidence of a giant race of people. There's stories of, going back to whenever, through all these different cultures, ancient cultures that talk about giants and stuff like that. They were either the rare case where somebody saw an above average human being, or when they would find something like this, it would turn out to be a cyclops, and you get the stories that you get in
I fought and slayed the one-eyed
Odyssey
beast.
with Homer and everything like that, and
Tis was a one-eyed beast that stood before me.
and all the other stories you get of giants throughout time. Now, there's been studies and stuff, and they've done this, and they've taken it, and they've overlapped the maps and everything. I forget the lady's name. I think I can show a clip of the video and everything, and it's been verified. And they've looked at where they've found mammoth bones and mammoth skulls and mammoth things and remains, and also dinosaur bone remains. And then they overlay it where there's been stories with giants throughout history and stuff like that, or where stories of supposed giant skulls and giant bones of giant humans have been found. And when you overlay these maps on top of each other, they match up almost identically. All the stories of the Native Americans and the giants and stuff like that, and how they used to be giants, gods and everything like that, it's because they saw these bones and stuff, and then they make up stories just like everything else that they find and stuff that they don't understand. And they would make up stories, and they say, oh, these are the bones of the people who came before us that created the earth and stuff like that, or whatever the stories are.
It's the master builder
Just because
race.
they didn't know. They see the skull here, they got one bone here, one bone here, they like put it, they're like, oh, these kind of look like our bones, sign a similar, like us, must have been giants. Oh, well, great chief, why would there be giants? What is this about? You know, and then they tell you the story and stuff, and the stories are passed down. They're just stories. They didn't know and understand, but nowadays we know, we understand when we find these things. Okay, these are dinosaur bones, or these are mammoth bones, or whatever type of animal bones that these were, that they are, that we find.
But what about the redhead giants they were fighting in Vietnam?
We're able to study that and do you know, testing and everything.
But they fought
and
redhead
see.
giants in Vietnam, though.
Oh yeah.
You know about that, did you? Redhead giants everywhere. Hey, baby. Alien versus Predator. Yeah, it's funny when you see those. Once you put the tusk and everything on those bones, you actually know exactly what they are.
Yeah, here I'm gonna show you a picture with the tusks and everything. Where's my interact thing? Hold on 1 second.
G off.
Interact. Here we go.
G off.
See, there's one with the tusks on it. But when you see him like this with no tusks, you're like, this must have been a cyclops. Well, what did he breathe out of the side of his head or something? I mean, where's the nostrils and everything? Where's the mouth? Where's the mandible? So they just thought that was gone. You know, that sometimes they find them like this. They put they think that, no, that's that's not how it works.
You sure? Those ain't giants?
Okay, so that's that one. Come back to us and everything here.
But I mean, in the past, we've heard the stories about the fact that the Smithsonian has giant bones that were cataloged, and that they have hidden below, you know. In
Well,
the secret
here's
vaults.
okay. First thing with those is those stories come from the late 1800s, early 1900s, the golden age, heyday of fake news and sensationalized stories. And again, some of those stories, they might have been, and they might have thought at that point in time that, hey, we did find these bones, and we think they're giant skeleton bones, so they went with that. But then later they found out, because again, you correlate where some of these stories are from, they're in areas where it's popular to find mammoth bones still to this day, or some type of dinosaur bones. So they have that. And then the stories of in the basements and everything at the Smithsonian, stuff like that, are kind of stories. A lot of the stuff that's down in the basement of the Smithsonian might have been up on display at one point, or will be on display at some point. There's just not enough room in all the museums that they have there and stuff. Some stuff comes from other museums that take it off display, and it goes around and it rotates around and stuff. Yes, there is some stuff that's they don't let people see, and that's usually because a lot of it's fragile shit and everything, moving it around, doing things and stuff like that. They don't want to damage this stuff. They're trying to protect it. It's protected so that, you know,
They're hiding the giant
at some
bones
point
down there.
people can see it.
They got Goliath down there. What you talking about, Goliath?
You know, I mean, it's really hard to come up with an entire fake math that's really like solid. Like you can prove this over and over again with all kinds of things. They use it to build buildings. They use it for everything. The square cube law is used for a lot of stuff. It applies to a lot of things. And to come up with, that's what I mean. They say, oh, it's just fake science. That's some serious fucking fake science, okay? Because you can do the math on everything, and it will come out, boom, 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 every single time. Unlike pseudoscience, where you do the math on some pseudoscience fucking flat earth fucking equations or something like that, and you're like, wait a minute, okay, yeah, okay. The first time you do this, and you're like, oh, that might check out, and then you're like, what? What the fuck is this even math? What are we doing now? What
It's
is this shit? You know what I
Klingon.
mean? It doesn't ever check out, no matter how many times you do it, and no matter what you do and which variables you switch up, and no matter how you try and do it, it never checks out. But the square cube law is solid.
You don't speak Ferengi?
It's real solid.
I thought everybody spoke it.
And it's really hard to knock it and stuff. Now I got some people and stuff, you know, that because we've been talking about it, and I post up, of course, what we're going to be talking about on the show and stuff online and everything. People are like, no, it's because back then there was more oxygen because the trees and everything was bigger, so things could get bigger. Yes, certain things were bigger due to the different conditions we had here on Earth. Unfortunately, though, humans were not one of them. We didn't start out big and then all of a sudden shrink down to the size that we are and everything. It couldn't work that way.
But those were the aliens.
Again,
duh.
because when you try and reverse that and you try and take that and you cram it a bit, boom, it doesn't work that way with things
But what about
like
the tall
that.
whites? Odin?
Nope.
No.
You know, I mean, Odin probably could have been a real guy, just a real, again, could have been a big guy, 7 foot tall or something
about
like
Thor?
that, you know. Thor could have been, could have been another guy,
Loki?
just the bigger guy.
Hercules?
Well,
Hercules wasn't that big? No? You don't think so?
you know.
In comic book,
So-
it was. Just fucking around. They're all bigger than life, maybe. That's about it. I guess, too, back then, you could say whatever you wanted to say about anything. Where's the proof? But they also, because a lot of them, that's one of the things you all talking about, the tall whites. Oh, they fought giants? Oh, wait, the tall whites fought giants? Is this whole conversation metaphor?
I can't see the chat and stuff, so I have
Gotcha.
no idea.
What's that?
I don't know if everybody's going to see it, be able to see it.
He's trying to put something else up on the screen. Odin and Thor. Hercules. Loki. It sounds like a latte. It's all white.
Actually,
A lot of people point them out as supposedly these gods or aliens, whatever. That's how they'll justify. Well, it's not the square cube law wouldn't apply to aliens. The aliens who came from other places were tall
that would
and-
apply to aliens too and stuff. No, it would apply to aliens. Anything in this form, this bipedal form, like humans, like this stuff like this with our structure. There's all these people say they look just like us, but they're tall. The tall whites, or the Anunnaki, they look like us, but they got beards and curly hair. You know what I mean? But they're a little bit bigger.
Nah,
you know?
that's because they shapeshifters.
All the aliens are humanoid.
They
Oh no, they look just
shapeshifters.
like us. They got a bird head. Everything else is the same. No, so the square cube law applies. The blue avians couldn't be fucking 12 feet tall or 10 feet tall or 9 feet tall. Even with a bird head, sleek bird head, doesn't make a difference.
Well, what if they're shapeshifters, or they have like those little devices that can make them, look whatever they want to appear because they got some cool technology.
That's a whole nother episode. We'll have to go there for a whole nother episode.
Just saying. They said they don't see the screen though, and I haven't seen it pop up either.
Yeah, it's gonna be 1 second. Hold on, everybody.
He's multitask.
All right,
Beautiful
so it will be
people.
coming up here in a second.
You should be seeing what's coming in the screen in a second.
Let me move it up a little bit.
I mean, I guess it'd be cool to think
I
there were
don't care
giants,
about
but then wouldn't everybody else want to be a giant? But then if
I
everybody
mean,
was
yeah,
giants,
it would be cool if it was possible and if it was real. But once we know and we see the science and the math and everything that's there and that would apply, and for it to happen and stuff, and why it isn't happening, we have to accept that. You know what I mean? I would love for there to be giants. I'd love for a lot of this stuff to be real and stuff. But once we have the evidence there, we have to accept the evidence. And that's the problem with all these woo-woo fuckheads. They can't accept the evidence. They can't accept the facts that, okay, and change their opinion because their mind is closed off. They suffer from cognitive bias and all kinds of stuff.
Well, because their whole belief is that none of this stuff is real anyway.
You know,
It's
you can
science,
go back
everything's
and
a
you can
lie.
listen to episodes of us from 2-3 years ago, years ago. We're like, we believe this is possible and stuff. But as we go along and as we figure out and we research and we find it, we're able to change our opinions and to change what we know and what we say, because we now know we have the facts more to prove it and everything. Okay, this is not possible. Human giants that look like humans. When you see this thing, you see a 25-foot fucking thing in front of you. Human. Gotta be human. Not possible. 25-foot tall monster looking fucking thing? With maybe a little bit of human characteristics? Slightly plausible. But human, able to function and do everything and act just like humans and stuff like that, but 25 fucking feet tall, all our features, everything, not possible. Square cube law, right here. All right. You can see how strength scales with size and everything. You can't. As it goes up, you got to be able to support that and everything, and you got to be able to handle that weight and the increases of the volume, the lungs, the air capacity, and everything. Again, the oxygen might have been more, but still, their lungs would have had to been too big. Their fucking chest would be like, I'm fucking, look at me. They'd have these big, huge chests because they got to stuff a big, huge heart in there to be able to pump that blood everywhere. All right. So this breaks it down. It kind of shows you the math and everything. Oh, let me go over to this one here. You got your nice little cartoons. It's easy for everybody to understand. This helps explain why. The elephant needs chunky legs. We would have to have big, fat, chunky legs. Big, fat. Our legs would be like this. Like, really, like, that's why elephants are the way they are. And that's why elephants can't run and can't move fast and stuff. And they're like, do. Hey, I'm an elephant. I'm just going to stop and rest now. And then they sit on that's why their asses are so big like that. So they can sit down and all that weight can get supported onto their backside. And they don't have those big tails and stuff because they'd crush them. It's all because of the science and math and everything. You know? And no, you can't. An ant wouldn't be able to. If you had a giant ant, it wouldn't be able to fucking lift giant fucking things and stuff. Because again, the square cube, when you scale an ant up and everything like that, it doesn't work out. An ant's able to carry an ant because of the size it is and the way that the skeletal structure can support the weight and stuff.
But an ant, when he made the ant really big, though, it was.
And we know this because there's big ants and stuff. But those bigger ants can't carry as much as the smaller little tiny little ants and stuff like that versus their body weight and stuff. That's why, you know, people are ants and it can carry, you know, what the ant's carrying versus its body weight is greater and stuff. If you made an ant bigger and stuff versus its body weight, it couldn't carry a house per se. Like if we had a 2-foot fucking size ant here, it couldn't carry a house. It'd be lucky if it could carry another 2-foot size ant. Because that's now the size of it and the way you scale everything up and how it works. Now, if you want them to be able to support and carry that weight, everything has to be exponentially bigger and stuff. And it no longer looks like an ant. It's no longer an ant at that point in time. It's now something else. And that's where the people don't understand. They lose the connections and stuff like that. So it says, you know, because strength scales with cross-sectional area of bones, muscle, beams, it gets harder to support our weight from volume as we scale up. Relative strength decreases as size increases. You know, you get a chunky tree, big chunky tree, got to be really big, fat at the bottom and stuff, but everything at the top is really small and skinny and stuff to support. Everything supports it. The way that we're designed, everything like that. Like, again, you start to get bigger, poor old Robert Ludlow was falling over all the time. All the time. Because he couldn't balance himself. Even before his legs, because he was pretty straight at some point until he started falling over and stuff too much and breaking his legs and stuff, and then everything they couldn't. Back then they didn't have the technology, medical, everything, you know what I mean. So he just couldn't just be straight anymore and stuff. He had metal rods and stuff in his legs and everything, and he had all kinds of surgeries, everything. Now just think of this. Now think about it in ancient times. how long would these people have survived for?
But back then they were bigger, faster, stronger. You know. They were,
Yeah, more oxygen.
Right.
Yeah, more oxygen. Right.
More gravity too. Less
Yeah,
gravity.
yeah.
More gravity, less
Yeah.
gravity, whatever. Gravity, yeah, it's different.
So, switch it back over to us. Get rid of all that stuff. And now, maybe I'll show this other video a little bit here that explains some more of this stuff. But, yeah, so that's what it comes down to. All right, and now there's other pictures of giants out there. So-called giants, which I'm going to show. We'll show here in 1 minute. Let me finish what I'm doing right here, and I'll pull that up. A lot of them come from a contest that happened, I forget, I mean, shit might have been 20 years ago now. I don't even remember. Photoshop was first coming out, and you can see the Photoshops when you really look at these pictures and stuff now. You can clearly pick out all the mistakes and everything. It's called Worth 1000, I think, or 1000. Yeah, Worth1000.com, and they do these Photoshop contests. And one year it was to be sort of with archaeological dig related type things and stuff, and a lot of people chose to do skeletons and giant humanoid bones being dug up and everything. And that's where a lot of these pictures that these fucking all these, you know, websites use and all these woo-woo wackadoo fucking giant fucking lovers like to use, and they don't even realize that where it's coming from. And you can see the Photoshop. And then there's some that don't come from those Photoshop, from those things. They come from, you know, actual dinosaur digs and stuff like that. And then somebody, you know, nowadays they just Photoshop in a skeleton around the area to show, and, you know, this is the proof and everything. And, well, where's that skeleton now? Well, they took it and they put it in the Smithsonian. I'm like, well, they got a lot of stuff, I mean, going in and out of that Smithsonian then, you know what I mean? But, fuck, they put in all that shit, because that fucking place isn't that fucking big, okay?
Well, they have those special underground tunnels.
Oh, yeah, underground
trains
tunnels.
and other areas you don't know about that is G16 classified, where they keep the giant stuff. They have a special area for giant stuff. Well, no, didn't they say they destroyed the giant bones, though? Isn't that some of the stuff that they supposedly had to destroy them or whatever, and blah, 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 so... I guess. All a bunch of made up shit. And no proof still. I have a friend, he's an he does digs and stuff, and he's talked about like seeing like tall, he was talking about like half of like a pyramid that somehow some kind of natural disaster like got rid of half of it, but they still dug in the other half of it, and they found these really, really tall kings or whatever they were for that area. Because this was a while ago when he told me the story, so I'm just kind of paraphrasing based off what I remember. Still have to get him on here. It's just been hard, and I was sick for a while, so. But,
yeah, Brad. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Well, he was just saying that, you know, they would find what people would say were giants, but they weren't giants. They were just really tall people, and that's why in a lot of cases they
above
were the
average
kings or whatever. But you could tell, he said, by their bones and stuff that they had issues. Their bones weren't always perfect, and so you could tell these people weren't living a great life and stuff. It's just because they were tall.
So busy. Gotta get him on the show. Yeah. So busy to get him. So hard to get him here. So yeah, Brad Gray. Basically, the giant Nephilims are just another biblical story. It's just a story. It's all bullshit. It's all, you know what I mean? We know the Bible is just used as a control method anyway. They're like, yeah, there's giants. So people are like, oh my God, giants. You know, yeah. It's all, that's all bullshit. Anything with giants,
bring your mic closer to you.
Humanoids, humans, anything like that. It's not possible. Just all stories. It's all bullshit. Oh yeah, I was gonna pull up these other pictures here.
And even if it was true, like they were giants at some point, then why would they care to hide it? They're just like, well, we used to be taller, so what? You know, this is what we've evolved to. It's just another part of the evolution of man or something.
Yeah, exactly. Why would they hide it? We have dinosaur bones. We got mammoth bones. We have all kind. They show us the little people and you know, all the different skeletons. Every time they find something that's older or they think may be older, they let us know. They show us this stuff. You know what I mean? They know that people want to know about this stuff. They're not gonna hide something like that. They're like, oh, what shit? There's proof like that. That's not how science works. They don't find something out and hide it. It's real hard for a scientist to find something that's fucking real, solid, conclusive, fucking evidence and be like, nope, I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna keep this all to myself.
And people would still be finding stuff nowadays that was legit. I mean, I know, oh yeah, there's the secret government and the men in black and everything who would scoop in, but the way that people can go live and show you their car accidents and everything else, I'm sure if somebody dug up some giant bones, they immediately would be live on TV where everybody could see it on Facebook Live, whatever, streaming everywhere they could. So people, look what we just discovered. So people, they would get it out there as quick as possible. That's not happening. In a day and age where all this stuff is quickly put live, that's some type of stuff people would go live with to let you see. So, just saying. Hey, Stina, how you doing? Hey, Sarah, good to see you. I didn't say Siri. Calm down, bitch.
Hello.
She seriously thought I said, hey, Sarah, and she thinks I'm saying called her for some reason. That's funny. Is it my Boston accent? I don't know. Is that what it is? That's hilarious. That's weird. That made me forget what I was saying. But
What's been happening tonight?
he's gonna bring some more stuff up on the screen, so hopefully you can see it. Give it a second. Catch up with you. What?
All right, here we go. Now look at that. Look at that. You think that's real?
It isn't?
No.
It's not?
Yeah, actually, you know. See the guy on his neck?
Oh, let me get my interact thing here.
Let's make sure that comes up on the screen. Sorry, folks, 1 second.
Someone made that thing?
Take surveys. Real or fake? Fake or real?
Nope, it's not real.
Alright, there it is. It's on the screen.
It's fake. There's another one. Look at that. I mean, you can tell how fake this is.
Yeah, it doesn't look real at all.
None of it doesn't. None of them look. You know, when you first look at a quick glimpse, looks real. This one here, it's not real. Not real. You can see in this one. I try to make it bigger, but I can't. The guy's holding a shovel, and they had trouble editing the stick there without editing his legs and stuff. They tried to edit out the head of the shovel is missing. They could edit that part out and stuff. The story about how these things all are, again, they're on worth1000.com. Right here.
No, that's proof, man. They just, you know, that's the government. Yep. Yeah, look like, yeah, exactly. Look like he got shot in the head with a giant gun.
Now here you can see it better. You can see the end. I don't want to get the fuck out of here. I can't get out of here because it's on this stupid fucking browser thing here. Ah, fucking shit. Hold on.
Espérate, por favor.
Oops.
Calling all your business out. We ain't signed up for shit. So I hope you're feeling better. Love to the whole Pearson clan. Sorry for the moment of silence. He's just having difficulty trying to bring up the rest of the shot. So, but I mean, as you could tell from the ones we've seen, most of them, those definitely look faked and photoshopped. Nothing real looking about
Yeah,
those
there's
shit.
a contest. It's worth1000.com. They do different contests and different Photoshop things. That's where the majority of the photos came from. Why is this not working now? Whatever.
To think too, when you first see all this shit, you're like, oh my god, look at these pictures of the giants. The giants supposedly in Antarctica asleep that David Wilcox and the other people talk about, whatever bullshit. Everything's asleep in Antarctica. The end of the world's in Antarctica, according to everybody. Everything's fucking there. The giants that came back and on the fucking moon trip. They supposedly brought back. Uh-huh. I don't think somebody was talking about that in the chat earlier. I think if that's the Mona Lisa, I think they're referring to that supposedly was on either the Soviets or I thought it was the American moon trip. I don't remember which one it was, whatever. And they had that giant like woman and shit sleeping in a fucking some kind of chamber, and they found her on the moon. They're bringing it back. Where's all the giants today? In the NBA?
Oops, hold on.
He's trying, folks. Do you have the other video clip? Would you show that? I actually saw Andre the Giant wrestle at the, was it the years? Well, shit. That was in the fucking 80s.
Oh, fuck this shit.
Don't stress about it.
Pain in my ass. Anyway. You guys get the idea. You see that. You can go and Google and you can look for yourself and you can read the stories of where this stuff all comes from. Again, when you use logical, rational thinking and look at the facts and understand the science behind what's going on in these pictures or in these stories or what's happening or why these things are not possible or why they may be possible, then it's really easy to see through the bullshit and the fucking lies. You know what I mean? At first, some of the things you may hear, giants, oh, sounds like it could be real. I've seen Andre the Giant. I know about Robert Ludlow. And I always forget the other guy, the tallest guy alive right now. And you know, you're like, so yeah, maybe they could have been a 20-foot tall people or whatever at some point, you know, and they shrunk when the dinosaurs died or whatever it is.
That's all they'd have been riding.
And you
the
think
dinosaurs.
about it, and then you're like, wait a minute, but I learned about the square cube law. Then eventually, you know, and you're like, well, and then you find the worth 1,000 thing, and you start to see when you're looking at the picture, you look at it again, you're like, yeah.
If people were
I don't
20
know.
foot tall, they would have been pictures of them riding mammoths and all them fucking big T-Rexes. Anything they could have got their fucking hands on and shit.
They would have had pictures drawing in the caves of them and everything like that.
Hunting them, eating them and shit. Doing the same shit they fucking do now.
We discussed the cave pictures and stuff and why they are the way they are and why the people look the way they do and the animals look the way they do. You can go back and listen to that episode. But so yeah, the whole giant thing. Anybody talking about giants and there's giants here and they're sleeping under the ice in Antarctica or they were here back in the day and they helped build the pyramids and they built what's the one over there in Baalbek, and they're the ones that lifted all the stones for these things. And they did all this. It's not true. It's not real. The Anunnaki are not a race of giant humanoid-looking people that come from Nibiru. Can't be. Doesn't work out. If they look like humans, they're not giants.
But what if they're from a galaxy far, far, far
Doesn't matter.
away?
The square cube law applies anywhere in this universe.
But what if they're from another universe?
Well, you know, that's possible, but you'd have to prove that. Again, they have no
They're
proof.
sleeping on Antarctica.
They have
They
no.
wake up and fart in one and fart in two, and Corey
Well,
Goodman
when it
goes over
happens,
there
and I can see and get the data and the real proof of these giants sitting in front of me telling me, yeah, I'm from another universe and stuff, then I'll be like, yeah, sure, cool story. I believe you.
Haven't you seen the fake fucking videos and stuff
Until
on
then,
YouTube?
Until then, I'm going with the evidence that we have.
He said
You
ball
can't-
bag.
you know
No,
what I
ball
mean?
bag. He said-
Yeah, you know,
Welcome
ball
back,
bag.
Jimmy. Last week it was Natasha. This week it's going to be Jimmy with this thing. As shit. Welcome back, Jimmy. Good to see you. Oh, man. It all sounds good. Bunch of fairy tales and shit. It'd be, again, where's the proof? In this day and age, it'd be a whole lot of proof. There's still people out finding stuff all the time. They're finding mammoth bones and dinosaurs and different things, but they're not finding any tall humans. And they're not reporting on it. It's not being covered up by the Dark Alliance. Or the
Nope.
Secret
Any
Cabal or
picture you
anybody
see
else.
with a person that's not a Photoshop picture of an actual skeleton there, which you can tell that they're the Photoshop ones. And now Photoshop has that thing, and you can catch people now. So that's another cool thing when they're photoshopping their shit. Or they might see him with like a skeleton, just a skeleton, a skull of an elephant or a mammoth without the tusks and stuff. You know now. That's an elephant or that's a mammoth skull. Or if they got a leg bone from a dinosaur or a mammoth or something like that, it's just a bone and they're showing just a couple of the bones and everything. Like, look at it, it's giant human bones. No, it's not. It couldn't have been. It's some other animal. Find the rest of the bones. Otherwise, you can't tell us and say what it is. You know what I mean? Unless you can match those bones up with another complete specimen of that. That's how the paleontology works and stuff like that.
My mic is making me feel like I'm underwater. I am underwater. Something. This cord's got to be changed out.
Yeah,
it's the cord's on.
Cord.
Yeah, when I touch the cord, it sounds better.
Because you keep it bent like that. I'll have to put it on there so it's not bent.
La 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 la. Isn't that better? That's why I've been underwater. I'm a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fish. What are you shaking your head about? You don't know what you're talking about. Get out of this, Ginger. Thank you. Sorry, that sounds like it sounds better. Hopefully. Now, Stina, is that legit or are you making a joke? I can't even tell the difference. The first found dinosaur bone was called scrotum something because they thought it was a ball sack. I don't know. If that's
I'll have
legit.
to look that up. I haven't heard of that one. It's pretty funny if it was.
Yeah.
But they used to think all kinds of crazy things about dinosaur bones. You know what I mean? They were all kinds of. Oh, these are dragons, which I guess you consider. They could be considered a dragon. I guess, you know what I mean? For what you think a dragon is, but not a dragon fucking breathing fire, flying through the fucking air and shit like that.
Okay, no, that's legit. You mean they really weren't dragons?
But yeah, they thought dinosaur bones, when they first found just a leg bone, might have been a giant human, or just pieces, and they're like, oh my, what is this? But then they started to find complete skeletons and put it together. And people started to understand the sciences more and the maths more and stuff, and understand why, okay, when they put these complete skeleton together, this thing was able to be this big because, wow, look at how much different this bone is than our bone. It's fucking 6 times as thick as our bones are and stronger, and it's not, it's so dense, and it can support all this weight in the way that, the brontosaurus and those long necks like that. Yeah, it had a heart big enough that could pump all the way up that skinny little neck to that little head on top of this big, huge body down at the bottom. Just like a giraffe. Giraffe's hearts, I think a giraffe's the one, they have like 2 hearts, so their hearts are really, so it can pump blood up to its fucking brain. We'd have to have a different heart, bigger heart. So until they got those complete pieces and they got this and they understood what they were looking at and what was going on, that's where all these crazy stories come from.
And we know who the best storytellers are, and the crazy storytellers are the Wilcoxes and stuff. Even on the shows and stuff, they talk about always referencing movies.
No, not even that though. Not all the stories are like. Well, now a lot of what you hear, but they take in pieces like we're talking. The Native Americans have stories of giants and stuff, but that's what it was. They found these bones and they didn't understand what they were. So they made up stories. Just like a lot of stuff that they did and they found and they didn't understand what it was. All these things, and now we know because back in the day, the sun was a god, but we know it's not God. I mean, I guess you could say it's God because it's responsible for all life. Without the sun, we wouldn't be here. They understood that relationship, so these people worship the sun. People worship the sun. Most religions and all things, but people, that's where life comes from. We know this. My son understands this. Little kids understand this. It's a common thing to understand. The sun gives us life. If there's no sun, we don't live. But they didn't understand how the sun worked, why we live because of the sun. But now we understand why we live and why plants live off the light of the sun and why we need, we understand that now. They didn't understand that back then. So like, oh, this thing in the sky, it's a god. It makes life. Gives us everything.
It goes.
Just like all that stuff. Until we understand and we have an actual understanding of it, it's a crazy, wild story. So the Native Americans had stories. Some of the ancient cultures had stories of giants. The Bible had stories of giants. There's stories of giants and stuff all throughout time. Because either misunderstanding, somebody met somebody, or might even, because it wouldn't be rare for a family. Sometimes people in a family, as we know, could be 7 feet tall. That's not a whole race of people. You know what I mean? Somebody might have found a place where there was, and they found the people, you know, the kings of that place, because they were so big and stuff, 7 feet tall. It's pushing the limits. Start to get a little bit bigger, them kings are going to have some problems. I bet you those kings didn't live long when you look at it and everything. I remember they weren't that old. You know? They say Tutankhamun and stuff, they were taller people and stuff, but that family didn't live long. When they look at the bones and stuff that we found of the pharaohs of Egypt and stuff like that, a lot of these families, they had all kinds of different of conditions and stuff that was affecting them. That's why people didn't live long back then. Yeah, and then after that, we'll go to the Vatican.
Yeah. Because they got the stuff down there, too, in their vaults. And then we can go up to Richie Rich's vault and clean out Richie Rich's vault, too, because there's no telling what those riches have up there. I saw Richie Rich's vault. I saw the inside. There was more than just money and priceless artifacts up there. There's other shit going on with
So
Richie
if
Rich.
you can get into the basement of the Smithsonian, stuff like that, become somebody one of the sciences that would need to go down there and study something in there and everything like that, and go through the process and everything, and go through all the paperwork and get the permission and go down and ask if you can study. It's the same thing with, okay, yes, the Vatican library is off limits, but it's not off limits the way that everybody thinks. Just like Antarctica, anybody can go to the Vatican library. You can't go in the Vatican library. Again, because they're very old books, very hard to handle. But you are allowed to go to the Vatican Library, and as long as you know exactly what you are looking for and what the book is and stuff, and you ask for it, they will get it for you, or you will get access where you might not be able to touch it and stuff like that. But you can go to the Vatican Library, and you can get stuff out of there. But that's the whole thing. There's no list of every book that's in there and stuff like that. So that's where it's kind of like, but they will, and I think it's not just everybody. I think you have to be studying certain things and have a certain qualifications and stuff. But it's not like the president's the only person who can get in there, or a priest and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Certain scholars, professors and things like that are allowed to go and study things in there.
Tom Hanks can get in there.
Exactly, I know. I mean, he's the man. He figured out the Da Vinci Code, man.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking all real. You know what I mean? That's what that movie, that's whole thing. It's based off of real stuff, everybody.
Right.
That's where all this stuff
And
comes
Nicolas
from.
Cage,
Jack
too,
and the
that's
Beanstalk, that was a real story, too,
David and Goliath was definitely a real story. It was in the Bible.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on, man. Shit.
Oh, I'd love to explore and go down in there and look around through all that stuff. And again, but that's the reason why not everybody's allowed down there and allowed to look at it and stuff. Because I'd be like, oh shit, look at these swords and shit. I'm like, whoa, fuck. Stop sword fighting and stuff.
You might find Excalibur, though.
Find some old fucking crazy ass, like, king outfit, put it on. Be like, I am the Smoke King now.
Find an old Pope outfit.
You find that pipe, that pipe that they found in China or whatever that had like weed and stuff in it, and I find that pipe and I'm like, yeah, look at me smoking on the pipe. So that's why everybody's not allowed down in there.
Wait, 2 girls' corpses found in a secret basement of the Vatican not long ago, and one of them, their dad worked there.
You'd have to look into it. Again, I'm not sure all everything and the qualification, everything that you need to do to go in and to get into these places and stuff like that. But you can access these places. There's ways to access these places and get information out of these places. It's not a completely restricted, only like fucking secret society. Now you can't come in here and everything like that and stuff. Like, again, that's this conspiracy theories and stuff that are thrown around the fucking so-called truth community that's full of fucking bullshit.
I'm just curious. I don't remember that. Bodies found in the basement of the Vatican.
Yeah, I'd be curious too, Jimmy, if what actually happened to all that stuff with the Alexandria Library, if it was all burned like they say it was burned, if some of it was saved, where it is, you know. I didn't know that about you, Victor Surge. That's good stuff. Good to know. He's a history professor. It's good stuff.
They found bones under. Yeah, search for missing bodies. Forensics
Just trying to read
experts
some of the stuff in the chat here.
Yeah, I was just reading the stuff that Steven was talking about. Forensics experts extracted bones from two ossuaries within the walls of the Vatican on Saturday. This is sometime last year. As part of an investigation aimed at resolving the case of a girl who vanished in 1983. Following an anonymous tip-off, the Vatican earlier this month opened two tombs to see if the body of Emanuela Orlandi, the daughter of a Vatican clerk, was hidden there. Instead, they ran into a new mystery when nothing was found, not even the bones of two 19th century princesses who were supposed to be buried in the Vatican Tiny Teutonic Cemetery. After consulting its records, the Vatican announced last week that they had located bones under the floor of the Pontifical Teutonic College, which flanks the graveyard. Structural work was carried out in the cemetery at the end of the 19th century and again about 60 years ago. Church officials believe the remains of Princess Sophie von Hohenlohe, what the fuck her name is, sorry, no meaning disrespect to the dead, but who died in 1836, and Princess Carlotta Frederica of Mecklenburg, who died in 1840, might have been moved and never taken back to their original resting place. The Vatican has not speculated about whose bones might have been recovered from the ossuary on Saturday, saying only that they would not be analyzed to try to establish their identities. Among those present at the tiny manhole covers were removed was a representative of the Orlandi family. Orlandi disappeared in 1983 after she left her family flat in the Vatican City and headed to a music lesson. She was 15 at the time. Theories about her disappearance have run the gamut from an attempt to secure freedom for Mehmet Ali Aga, the Turk jailed in 19... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Poked on the connection to the grave of Master buried in Rome Basilica. The Orlandi's family received an anonymous letter earlier this year saying Emmanuel's body might be hidden among the dead in the cemetery, where a statue of an angel holding a book reads, for arrested something rotten. The Vatican has always denied suggesting it dragged its feet over the investigation. With its latest expert operation, the Vatican is once again showing its openness toward the Orlandi family. This openness has been shown from the outset, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So yeah, I guess there were bodies found down there.
No, I've never been to the Vatican, Jimmy. I've seen pictures and stuff. Yeah, it is a beautiful place. I mean, craftsmanship back then compared to what it is today, I mean, it's just not the same. I mean, yeah, there's still some craftsmen, people that can do some beautiful craftsman work like that and stuff like that, but there's places that aren't really built like that. A lot of these places, you know. Over in England, you guys got a lot of good, nice churches. Well, we got a few things left here. Not much, but it's a lot of stuff. I'd go to the Vatican, even though that I don't believe in any of that bullshit. I just go there just to see it and everything, just for the experience, just to go and see it and stuff.
Anybody know where any giant bones are buried that we can go check out then? Show us some giant. I can bring my friend too. He's very, he knows the difference between those and dinosaurs and stuff. We can prove whether or not they're giant bones.
I was trying to look where the closest place, man. There's been some in Canada above us. Mammoth bones and stuff were found. Some in like Pennsylvania. A lot of it's out west and everything. Where most of the Native American culture and those stories come from. The stories of giants didn't come from so much of the eastern Native tribes. They come from more of the west. Yeah, a little bit and stuff. It spreads around and stuff. But most of the main stories come from the tribes that were of the western United States. Also, when you look at it and stuff, when you look into where these stories come from and everything, Why did these giants come from underground and live in Middle Earth and stuff like that? These ant people and stuff. They thought they were ant people because the way that fucking, probably because the tusks and shit around fucking might have been extra legs. Who the fuck knows what the fuck, why they're ant people? I'm still trying to figure out why they think they was ant people. But, you know, they thought these things came from Middle Earth because their bones are coming out of the ground and shit. It all, when you start to look at it and you listen to the stories and think about it, and you're like, wait a minute, that sounds like you're talking about some dinosaur bones here, dude. You know what I mean? And when you think of how they worked and what they, you know, how they would relate to things in the other stories they talk about, and how that relates to what's those stories about and stuff, then you start to put the pieces together of these things. People who work and study, you know, the Native American tribes and stuff and the ancient cultures, and have been studying these things for 30, 40, I mean, some fucking university professors and things like these things have been doing this shit for like 50 years. There's some people that have been studying these ancient things for a long time. They know it, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of these people. Just because David Wilcox or fucking Billy Carson or fucking Greg Braden or fucking whoever the fuck it is comes in and fucking reads some fucking little article in the fucking Sun fucking magazine, fucking satire, fucking tabloid fucking bullshit.
Don't make it real.
Doesn't make it real. And then he finds a fucking Photoshop picture and puts it next to it, and it comes up with this whole little fucking fancy story when you start to fucking break it down and look at the pieces. Again, they cherry pick these things. They take this fucking picture of a fucking skull here, and then they take a picture of a dinosaur bone here. Then they take these Native American legends and myths and stories. Literally, that's all they are, stories. And other indigenous cultures around the world. They fucking take it and they write it down on a piece of paper. They throw it in a hat and they mix it all up and shit like this, and then they lay it all out. And they're like, there you go. Well, that's my evidence.
They got the giants the same place they got Bigfoot, man. That's why you can't see none of that shit. Hey, there's giants walking amongst us, right? Remember that fucking woman years ago who contacted us and sent us the fucking video which supposedly showed the giants having a fireball fight in the middle of New York? Remember that? So I guess the giants are alive. We just saw some grainy ass pictures that looked like they went through 100 filters. We didn't see no giants having fireball fights in New York.
Well, Jimmy, it's kind of easy to figure out space. There's not a lot of stuff in the space around. It's kind of to make the Earth. You know what I mean? It's easier to go to space than it is to get to places on Earth and understand how that all works and the depths of the ocean and stuff like that. So yeah, we do know a little bit. I wouldn't say we know more about space than we do our own planet. We know. I mean, look at all the stuff we know about our planet, and space we're barely scratching the surface. You know what I mean? We might have a good grasp of what's going around in space right around us, but the space way the fuck out there, we're like, whoa, what the fuck is this shit? You know? I mean, we got a little idea kind of based off what we know about what's going on here, but I mean, we got a good idea about the workings of what's going on in the Earth. Yeah, there's places on the Earth and stuff it's hard for us to get to and figure out and see exactly what's down the depths of the ocean and things like that, but we got a pretty good grasp on things.
Oh my God! She said, "Edge of Wonder." They like to quote the Sun magazine. If you really understand anything about Edge of Wonder,
oh yeah, they use that mirror and all those fucking these satire.
Why? These dudes, I'm telling you, from talking to them, sitting next to them, being around them and stuff, back in Arizona, I really get the impression that these dudes really did not understand who like the players are, who the people are, what's going on in the paranormal. That they walked into something and it's like, fuck it, we'll wing it as we go along. And they got David and fucking Corey who learned everything.
David Bucky, keep your eyes on the road. Thank you for tuning in. Just listen. Keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, please do. Stay focused, man. You can listen and laugh. Just don't laugh too hard. Don't blame nothing on us.
Yeah, I like having that YouTube Premium
But
because
yeah,
I can be listening to stuff and not have to look and have my screen on and everything. You know,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. So, but
yeah, Edge of Wonder, they're a couple of fucking clowns, whatever.
a lot of these people, even like David fucking Wilcock, will get a story from there. But then sometimes those fucking same magazines will fucking take stories from David Wilcock or fucking whoever and put them in them things, and they use places like fucking Scott C. Warren and everything. I thought I had a story, but I couldn't find it now. He found this fucking giant UFO thing in the middle of the desert and stuff, and I'm like, you are a fucking idiot. Anybody ever seen the giant solar array power things with the tower in the middle of it?
Mm-hmm.
And all the solar panels around it, and they heat up the fucking giant thing of salt that's at the top, so the water and stuff, and that's how they generate electricity, right? Okay. Well, he has a picture of this. It's like a satellite, but some kind of picture. I don't know what it's from. Maybe a drone or something high up of this, and the sun, of course, is beaming on it and everything, and it's glaring off, so you can't really make out that it's a whole bunch of fucking solar panels and the tower in the middle and everything like that. And he's like, look at this. There's a UFO just parked there in the middle of the fucking desert and nobody's doing anything about it. I'm like, are you fucking... I can't find the fucking story. I was trying to find it earlier and everything. That's just a fucking... As soon as I saw it, I was like, are you... like, do you not know anything like that? It's like it's so obvious you can tell exactly what it is and why it looks the way it looks and everything like that. It's a whole shitload of fucking mirrors fucking beaming the fucking sun up to the middle of this tower. I didn't mean to say they're not solar panels, they're actually mirrors. Really high polished fucking mirrors, and the sun hits them and fucking focuses the heat up, just like when you fucking used to fry ants and shit when you were little and everything. And it's the same principle. It heats it up, the water generates steam and all this stuff, and that's why, because the molten salt stays hot so it can generate power at night too. They're smart, these people. But no, we get the free energy and a Tesla and the you know, well, that's a whole nother show.
The Shin Yun dance show. I believe they're actually here. They're somewhere around here.
It's everywhere. It's all over the fucking place. But yeah, that shit is fucking Falun Gong and tied into all that shit. They have that Shin Yun dance thing. That's where they get their money, because all those people run to see that and pay the money. And they're like, here you go, Edge of Wonder. You get some money, and here you guys got some money. Go and spread our fucking propaganda bullshit. That's one of their things that shit is everywhere. And fucking... people go, and I don't know why they go to see it. I don't know what the fuck it's about, but the shit fucking people going to see it all the time. I forget what theater it's at all the time, because I drive by and I see it, fucking people lined up waiting to go and see. Whew.
Stina, the thing about the Edge of Wonder dudes is they're just fucking, I'm telling you, the whole thing about them is they're in it for the money. I don't even think that they really care about the whole Falun Gong thing or anything else. These fucking dudes, there's a couple of Hollywood wannabe dudes who want to be the faces of something, took some money around with it, and now want everybody else to pay for their shit. If you go and watch that fucking panel that I'm on with them, you hear them talk about nothing but money. That's all they cared about in the panel that was supposed to about YouTube censorship. And all they're talking about is the fact, and they literally quote how much money they supposedly were making and how it went down. They tell you each phase is that it goes down and stuff. These dudes are about money. That's what they are. That's what David Wilcox and these people are about. They're about money. That's all they care about. David Wilcox and the other dudes think they're celebrities. Now they're on Jenny McCarthy's show and shit. They think it's just more celebrity stuff, that they're going to be A-listers one day, and then everybody in Hollywood's going to be banging down their doors and stuff. That's the shit they're going to be talking about soon. How you'd be surprised now, after doing that show, sitting there with Jenny, how many people have reached out to me and Corey, Hollywood A-listers, who want to be a part of what we're doing. Watch, it's going to be all blah, 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 blah. These dudes think they're fucking going to keep their money train.
Well, that's why it's the same thing with Billy Carson, and he's with Dame Dash now and putting out stuff on Dame Dash TV and Dame Dash Studios, another subscription thing. You got to go and buy and pay, and he's doing all his things at Dame Dash Studios because he thinks now he's with Dame Dash, who's, again, we know all, you know about, you know, hip hop and any of that stuff and the story of Dame Dash, and I don't see Dame Dash. I don't see Dame Dash TV becoming the next Netflix, or even taking over YouTube or anything anytime soon, or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And now Dame Dash is all. If you start,
I don't think they get BET numbers.
I don't know if you follow Dame Dash and everything like that now and stuff and his stuff. Now, if you start to read him stuff and what Dame Dash is putting and what he talks about and everything, even what TMZ is saying, he's saying in court about these things and stuff, it's because Billy's in his ear and stuff, and he's got him got it in his head and stuff. So now Dame Dash is all fucking go woo woo woo. But Dame Dash wasn't like that before Billy Carson hooked up with him. Because you can scroll back through his Instagrams and you can see Dame Dash a year ago before fucking Billy Carson was in his life and how Dame Dash would talk about a situation, what was going on and everything like that. Yeah, I'd still be like, yeah, everybody fucking hates me and these motherfuckers are trying to rip me off and everything like that. But now he's putting in a whole different spin on it and shit. And he's like, yeah, they can't touch my vibrations and shit and all this and everything.
You got that vibe. Vibes. Oh, how everybody changes. Watch evolution. That's all it is. A bunch of bullshit. Find some new bullshit to jump on.
He's over there. He's like, I'm vibing high, and then this other black man's trying to put on other black people and stuff. And I'm like, you're hanging out with Billy Carson, dude.
Right.
You're hanging out with
Isn't-
Billy
wait,
Carson,
isn't
and you
Billy
want to
Carson
talk
like
about somebody
the white
put
knight or whatever society? Isn't he one of them or some shit? Isn't he down
the
with
Brotherhood of
the
White
Brotherhood of
Knights or
White
something.
Knights and bullshit, whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
They let him in.
this dude lies.
He's Clayton Bigsby.
This dude literally lies to the black people for a living.
Lies to everybody.
Lies to everybody for a living. He doesn't care. Well, because you know how he pushes. He pushes.
I get it.
He does
I
push
get
the,
it.
like
Hold
the
on, it
black
makes
community
But it
woo-woo version
makes
of stuff
sense
and
because
everything.
think about it. The way Will Cox and them have a certain segment of society is going to stand with them. Billy going to get a certain segment of society. The black folk they're going to be allowed to stand too.
That's what I'm saying.
They can leave. They want to go with Billy, and then they can.
But you know how
leave.
Billy pushes all the stuff that he does, but you know, and he just tries to push the black community and things, which there's nothing wrong with helping out, the community and stuff like that. But the stuff that he's pushing is bullshit that people shouldn't be buying anyway and stuff like that. And you know, he markets all this stuff towards a certain group of people, to everybody, but more specifically with everything, the way his style with his new shoes and everything, it's marketed towards his things and stuff. And it's like,
Everybody
you
gets
talk
some
about
tacky suits.
putting cultures down and doing all this stuff, but look at what you're doing. You're sitting here lying to your own people and profiting off of it.
Yo, hold
and
up.
everything.
He said, "Woke don't mean broke." Right? I mean, that's how it works, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Woke don't mean broke. Victor, I'll tell you one thing. I have not seen one fight at a con. Nobody's fighting at these things, man. People go there to go. There's some conversations, there's a few stuff like Ryan Gable and stuff who got to talk to Emery Smith, which was an argument, but he had a little bit of a back and forth with Jordan Saylor. But you don't really see too much. There's not really
too much. I mean, you had you and Jay Widener, which wasn't really fighting, but Jay, you know what I mean? That's like.
But that was him.
No, but I get what he's saying and stuff, and there are people that do kind of. I mean, because you're not everyone and stuff, and I've seen other videos where there's people where they try and troll and do things and stuff, and try and get their piece of fame, and everybody's doing all kind. It's just ridiculous now. Like right now, this accounts popping up on Instagram and Twitter and stuff where all they're doing is pushing the fucking a whole conspiracy theory of the fucking coronavirus and everything like that. And you know what I mean? They're like 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids and stuff. A bit of skeptic. We had him on the show and stuff. Great guy, does great work and stuff. Getting to the bottom, putting the facts out there and stuff on everything. We had him on the show. And he busted this kid wide open, was able to catch and find out everything. The kid was like 13 or 14 years old, doesn't understand anything. He's like, well, I read it on this website, and he explained him to everything, and he's like, he said, hopefully I think the kid might actually turn around and actually, start putting out some actual facts on stuff. I kind of showed him, bit of skeptics, like I kind of, told him how to check facts and stuff when you're reading on websites and, check the sources and things like that. He's like, oh, I'll go and do that and stuff, and he said he made his account private for a little while. But that's what I mean. These little kids, they're like, oh, this will get me clicks and likes and everything and make me get followers and whatever. And whoever, it does, not even little kids, fucking 60-year-old people on here are fucking like, oh, fucking QAnon, go for it. Yeah, follow me.
Q's the way.
Go Trump.
What elite teach me is that it means where one goes, all whatever WW. Like, what the fuck?
Where we go, we go all, except for the people on the other side of the wall. That's
who aren't gonna ascend.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Stina, cons are cool. I think the best thing about cons and why I've gone to them all these years is because you get to be around people. You get to sit in a room and listen to them speak, see how audience. You get to actually sometimes get to talk, sit down. I've had lunch with many people, hung out with them, been in the end of the night, the bars with them and stuff like that. Had drinks, smoke with some people and everything. You really get to talk to people, see who they really are. the people who are willing to have cool conversations, sit around and drink or smoke with you and stuff. I've jammed with everybody from Jimmy Church, everybody you could think of.
I think
they're worth going to, though. I think that's the best part of it. There's also great vendors and a lot of this stuff and everything. You get out of it what you want. You know, I think the biggest problem is, like I said, when I went to like Conscious Life, I actually spoke at Conscious Life last year, and the thing about it was that every person I met who was there had a business card and was there to do something. They were somebody. They were some kind of a shaman now.
That's all it is.
It's like everybody. It's almost like they all go to the fucking University of Phoenix online and get a shaman degree now and stuff like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people trying to elevate their mind, their consciousness. But I'm pretty sure if you asked an actual Native American,
90% of those people shouldn't be
right.
a shaman, shouldn't be doing
things like that. There's just a lot of people who are ripping off stuff. And again, I say this from someone who is 50 years old now.
And all these things.
That a lot of these same people who are pushing this woo-woo shit and who are all into all this love and peace and light and healing and stuff like that and taking on all these new age religions and stuff are the same people who are burning witches and hanging people and dragging people out of their homes and killing them for practicing these same religions. They're only into it for the money. They care about the money. It's cha-ching because they know the money aspect of it. They know what is selling right now.
They just follow the money and stuff.
They don't need a mega church and stuff like that. Like you can have a mega online presence that might be where people talk about the amount of money that David Wilcox has. Now, does David Wilcox come from money or something? Because I believe that his father had some kind of a role in Hollywood or whatever. So did he already have money, or is he literally, after all these years, been living off of the money he is making from this shit?
See, here's the first thing with a shaman. They don't go around telling everybody they're a shaman. That's the shaman. You know about shaman, and we've talked about shamanism and stuff on the show before and everything. A shaman lives on the edge of the village, on the edge of town, in a fucking cave, in a little hut, lives by himself. He doesn't come into town seeking out the sick people. The sick people go and seek him out. He doesn't come around advertising, I can heal you, I can help you, I can do this. You go and you find him. That's why when you go to the jungles of Peru and you go to the jungles in South America and stuff like that, you need to hike through the fucking woods and the jungles and shit like that for days to go and find the shaman. Because he's not coming to the city by the airport hotel to meet you.
He's not? Are you sure?
Nowadays, they kind of have some resort things, but even those resort ones, they make you hike to them and stuff like that.
I'm just saying, but dude, there was a couple hundred of them there. I've met everybody. Everybody's into all this shit. Just be wary of everybody who's selling you everything now.
Yeah, but that's.
I think they take stuff and they twist
everything.
it. They take away the authenticity of people's religions, of their beliefs and stuff like that. But in practice, long before these people all got into this shit and attached all this crazy fucking woo-woo to it. You know, now it's awakening and ascending into some other shit and everything. And again, the thing that I just don't understand, the big picture is too, why they take away the humanity out of all this shit. Like, why being a human being, who we are currently, what we are, what we're capable of, is
the whole thing of
it's
it,
so
you know
bad.
what I mean?
It's so horrible. We got to get away from this. We've got to ascend. We got to get to 7D.
The whole truth community, this whole fucking new age, it's all a money thing now. That's what it's all begun. The shift has begun. It's all blended together, and the shift, everything is about money. When you look on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and shit, they get 10,000, 20,000 followers. What happens? They start advertising bullshit products. Oh, get these detoxing fucking foot bath things, or buy these fucking crystal fucking rocks that fucking protect you, or these magic stickers that put a fucking force field around and protect you from 5G radiation.
Billy Carson's clothing line.
As soon as you have it
cheap
and stuff.
Suits and some ugly shirts.
Now, why, Mr. Billy Carson, Mr. Moneybags, Mr. I traveling around the world, got my Rolls Royces and everything, and all this stuff. What the fuck is he taking $100 or whatever the fuck it is, fucking from a fucking advertiser thing to advertise this bullshit for? Why the fuck would he advertise? This dude got the real deal truth.
'Cause that's how
These
the
people got the real deal truth, and they're selling all these scam products. Straight up, we know this you know that foot bath thing that says they detoxes you and stuff, and the water turns brown. We know that thing has been debunked since the 1975 when they first came out with this shit. Okay, the water is rusty because the fucking ionization, because the electricity flowing through the thing and everything. Because if you turn it on with nothing in there, it turns rusty. We know it's debunked, but he sells this shit. These stickers, it's not going to protect you from radiation. That one spot you stick that sticker to, Okay, yeah, maybe. If it's really going to protect, it's going to protect that one spot. Everything else, it's still emitting radiation. Radiation's coming in from everywhere.
I told you,
It's
gotta
not
put
a
them
force
all
field.
over you,
so
man.
you got the real deal truth. You know why you selling
I'm
bullshit
sticker
products?
Man. I
What the fuck you
protected
gotta sell bullshit
stickers all
for?
over my body. I have stickers everywhere. Stickers in my car, stickers on my toilet. There's stickers everywhere in my house.
All these people selling some kind of fucking bullshit. And that's where you know that they're bullshit.
It's funny too. I think about that. Like, how many people, even in this room right now, got started in like where you are currently and how you see all this stuff and perceive the paranormal, whatever you want to call it, got started because of ghosts or like UFO Gandalf is your name, or because of like
people
UFOs.
here are,
and shit.
you're open-minded people, because the majority of the people, I don't know about everybody, but in the chat and stuff, you're open-minded. Most of you probably thought and believed in a lot of this stuff, thought this stuff to be real and stuff, and as you found out through time, you've been able to change your opinions and your feelings on these things and realize that, okay, this is not real, this is not possible, and stuff like that. That's what, you know what I mean? That's why we get along so good, because we're all able to see that and everything. That's what a open mind. These people, all these woke fucking new age truth people are all like, I'm open minded and stuff. That's why I see it. And no, you're completely closed minded, because when you presented with the facts and the actual evidence that refutes your bullshit fucking story, you don't change your mind. You stay close to your belief. You stay shut off. You're like, nope, that's not real.
But you know what's funny? I wish we should read comments sometime where people shit like people wrote in the comments, oh, but you guys are so far gone about the truth that you don't want to believe that there is truth. No, we do believe there is some truth out there.
I believe
all the bullshit
again, it comes
aside
down
get
to evidence.
the truth.
That's the thing. These people don't know evidence. They don't know how to gather evidence. They don't know how to research. They don't know how to do anything. They read a fucking meme on Facebook and on social media somewhere, or a fucking article on some fucking satire website, and they fucking run with it. It's real. It's the truth. This is all that. You know what I mean? Even David Wilcox, all these never. Oh, here's the data. Look at the data. We got all these sheets. Look at this. Never. Nothing. It's all just word of mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Tossing word salad. They're just in there. They're like, do. Tossing salad. Tossing salad. They take a whole bunch of words. Let me take some of this article here, this article here. We got this book here. I got this guy's story over here. Let me do this, and I'm just going to take this dictionary and just rip a bunch of pages out, and they throw it in a bowl, and they toss that shit around like, and then David Wilcox is like, oh shit, I got a 75,000 word fucking article. Let me go. I gotta go. Sorry, Elizabeth. I can't help you practice your nunchucks right now.
Right. Yeah, Stina, if you're a skeptic at all, that's the problem. Well, because you're a skeptic, you just don't want to believe. No, we do want to believe. We just want truth. After years, how many fucking years could somebody like David Wilcox be around? How many years is Billy Carson going to be around? Corey Good's been around doing the same shit.
Look at Eric Von Daniken still out there on the fucking circuit. How long he gonna fucking be around?
George Norrie's still on the circuit.
And the Molten Howell, these fucking people that have been doing this, fucking telling these fucking stories that we know are bullshit. We've known this stuff is bullshit for a long fucking time.
They've put no proof on the table. How many people have been chasing these people for years, going to conferences? I've talked to people like, oh, this is my whatever, so-and-so. I've been following them for so many years, and I've seen them at 100 conferences. And in those 100 conferences, what have they actually shown you? Forget what they've told you, but shown you there's actual proof of anything that these motherfuckers
Nothing. That's what I mean. None of these people, they get up there and they tell stories. Sometimes they'll show you a blurry-ass picture. And here's a picture of the moon, and you see right here, there's a moon base. Well, look at this. This is a UFO. And I'm like, no, that's a #1 balloon, Tom DeLonge. What are you doing, Tom? Go back to the music thing, Tom.
Fucking security.
And let everybody sing along with you, Tom. Because right now you're just stringing us along like that balloon.
Yep,
it was
Tom,
on a string, Tom, until the little kid let it go. And it floated away. That's the stuff that you see at these people they have is their evidence. This is my evidence. Oh, we have giants. I have pictures of giants. No, that was from a Photoshop contest from about 15 years ago, dude. You didn't see that one? Oh, I did though. I know all about that. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, look he's missing the shovel handle. Look at the shadow of the skull, and it goes this way, and their shadows go this way. How is that even possible? The sun's over here. What's going on with these pictures, dude? But they're like, Elizabeth, get your nunchucks.
My wife is an 18th degree black belt. She handles my security.
I'm gonna tell my lawyer. I'm sending a cease and desist. Why? Because I asked a question? Because I just showed you something?
Can I tell you, though, I feel there's two people
I'm blocking you.
Well, there's two people I feel really bad for
I'm
right
blocking
now.
you.
Stina, with you being here, and CW Chanting. Because if you follow them on Twitter, their feeds are flooded with fucking Corey Good fucking retweeting nonsense and his fucking cheerleaders and shit who think that this dude is legitimately doing anything to these people except tweeting them and shit with his bullshit. These motherfuckers have inundated you all.
You know, I wish they would come my way because I love that shit. They don't. I don't know why. Because we talk just as much shit and we put out just as much shit as everybody else does. But
well, you know, Corey probably can't admit that his wife is like, you know, she thought JiGGY was kind of cute. She was digging JiGGY.
I would think that he'd want to go after that a little bit more after that. But maybe he's like, oh.
Maybe they know. Maybe Billy filled them in. You saw Billy knew he bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah, Billy knew.
They
knew.
They've met me and stuff. They know I'm a cool as fuck.
I'm saying, we can show you the tweet. Billy knew right away. He backed down right away. He knew we put him in a spot. He knows that we got him right there. It's just like Zen, not to keep bringing up Zen and stuff. It's still kind of like, Zen. I like Zen. I like a lot of his work he did, but, things happened with Zen, and Zen went whatever with Zen. But what I said about Zen and everything that I said about Zen stuff is true, and he knows that, and that's why he made that video the next day before he deleted his channel and deleted that video. Which I have still. I have that, and I know, and we have the tweets and everything from Billy trying to play me and him and stuff, and doesn't realize we're both looking at the same fucking tweets or DMs and everything, and then all of a sudden he apologizes because he realized that he got caught and everything in his lies, and he knows that what we're saying is fucking true and stuff, and he just blocks us on everything.
It was acting all funny at Conscious Life last year. Shit, acting all fucking scary and shit. Any other time, it's JiGGY. Let's go to lunch. JiGGY, I can get her. I'm gonna go to the airport.
But you want to know what's funny? I took over all these people's fucking hashtags on Instagram. If you go on Instagram and you click on the hashtags, I use very specific hashtags because it's the same hashtags that a lot of these people use, or it's their names and stuff that people would post up stuff that people would go and look at it. If you go and look at it, it's filled with my stuff. So they're gonna see it and they know it's there. You go on Instagram and you click the hashtag David Wilcock. Go and look at that hashtag. There's more stuff by me now than by people putting up David Wilcock. The same with Corey. A lot of these things, my things, fill it up. But I don't got no cease and desist letters. They just blocked me. Corey Good. No, David Wilcock hasn't blocked me on that stuff yet. Elizabeth Wilcock blocked me too, though.
I'm blocked.
I never tagged her or never done anything, but she must have seen the pictures that I put up there. But she blocked me now. Yeah. She blocked me. I don't know why, because I never. The only thing that I did do a couple of posts, which he's like, get your nunchucks.
What's his name? Rob, whatever, from Edge of Wonder. He blocked me and shit.
Yeah, those Edge of Wonder dudes blocked me. I mean, these people, they just blocked me.
Yeah.
But. And I don't just put up funny memes and stuff about making fun of this stuff and everything. I put up stuff for facts. So when people go and they'll see facts. If people fucking go and look at the hashtag about the Anunnaki history, they're going to see my stuff saying, no, this is bullshit. And this is why it's bullshit. This is the facts. This is a story, and here's the facts.
Wait, KB, whose profile pic is 35 years old? What, Emery Smith? That's funny though. This is how you know that I think that these people do fringe or hear or listen to shit. Because as soon as I started saying like, wait a minute, so Emery Smith is using this old fucking Glamour Shots picture and all these fucking things from so many years ago. Then you see the dude in real life, you're like, wait, that's Emery Smith? He looks nothing like, well, he looks like the picture, but just older. It's fine to get older. This is who I am and shit. I might shave or whatever, but this is who the fuck I am, where I'm at. I'm not going to show you some fucking picture from when JiGGY was fucking 20 years old, 25 years old and shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking hilarious. I don't know what she was talking about. That was just funny. That was one thing. Now all of a sudden, same thing with Billy. Started talking about Billy with his sunglasses. Now he doesn't wear his sunglasses as much anymore. Trying to keep that eye straight and shit. He's been focusing and shit. And give me something to focus on the camera. All right, I got this.
He takes allergy medicine so he can wear that fur coat. But he's vegan.
Oh, wait, he wears a fur coat?
Yeah, oh, you know, I've seen him in the shots where he's
Blocked
got
me on everything.
fur coats and stuff like that.
It's vegan fur, man.
Yeah, still, why would you even want to wear something that, you know what I mean, that implies that this is, you know what I mean, it's fake animal fur. Like, it's fake, don't worry, it's fake, but you're still implying that you're wearing a dead animal, dude. But I'm so vegan.
Hey, man, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. Woke don't mean broke.
I'm so enlightened though and stuff. Well, then you sure as hell don't understand what enlightened means, because if you wouldn't be worried about, woke don't mean being broke,
Get
but
back in the light.
it also doesn't mean being a materialistic fucking asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean? And going around and wanting to have all this materialistic shit that doesn't matter when you ascend or the Anunnaki come back or you go back to wherever it is that you think fucking Thoth is going to go or whatever it is that you're going to do, Billy.
He's just going to go to his pyramid like he's been there. That pyramid should open up a tooth. He's going to go down there, get all his riches and shit, whatever he's got.
If you were so enlightened and stuff, you would only have enough money for you to live. You wouldn't care that you had all these fancy cars and your fancy clothes and your fancy houses and all this stuff and everything. You would help everybody. You'd help everybody out. You wouldn't be broke. You'd do your stuff. You'd make your money, but you'd be helping out and giving back way more than you do. You wouldn't care about being all flashy and doing all this stuff.
No, he does give back. He gives offline donations to his fucking
his own GoFundMe.
Yeah. Offline donations and shit. He starts it off with offline donations. Blink,
no,
blink.
Stina, his Zen unspirituality channel is gone. That's gone. He has what's called Zen Temple, and the only thing on it right now is him narrating him reading his book, chapter by chapter. That's all that I know about with Zen or whatever and stuff like that. Is that I saw he brought that back up like a day or two after he deleted his other channel. He started uploading stuff to that. So his other channel is gone and everything, and I don't know what his deal is. He's in whatever, but he basically, like I said. The next day he made a video and he basically was like, yeah, JiGGY and Smoke King, they were spot on. Those guys whooped me. There's nothing that I could say back. Everything they said was spot on about everything, and basically that was it. And he just went on saying a whole bunch of other things and said goodbye to a bunch of people. And I was watching as that was happening, and I decided, I was like, let me just record this. And as I was recording it, he must have ended the video and stuff, and then he just deleted it. Because as I was recording it and I got what I got, he deleted that, and he deleted his whole channel. Like, because it wouldn't let me record. It said, YouTube error thing, this video no longer exists and shit, and it stopped me from recording it and everything. And his channel was gone. So he basically knows that, you know what I mean, that people were starting to be on and whatever, so now he's going to try and go and do whatever and do his Zen Temple thing in that way and get people. Like, if you try and follow him, he even said it in the video, and in the video the night before or whatever, he said if people that he doesn't want following him follow his new channel, he's going to block them and stuff as soon as he sees them follow him and everything, because he's got to alert him. You know what I mean? I think he already blocked some people and stuff. If you're part of the Zen Temple and he doesn't want you in there, or if you follow us and stuff, he already said he's going to block it and everything, and people who know everything about that stuff. So that's just everything that I've gathered and that I've heard and whatever. I don't know what his deal. If you go read the comments from the video when we basically said what we said about him after he went off, because our opinion was different on a subject. And if you read the comments, there was somebody who says they know him personally, and they said he's going through stuff, even though on his videos he'd be like, oh no, I'm fine, there's nothing, my life is great all the time and stuff like that. But somebody was saying, so he was going, like we were even saying too, it's like, see, something's off with Zen. He's more and more, something is off with Zen lately and stuff. And that's why we're like, why is he getting like this and stuff? And then he went off the way he did, and I was like, all right, it's fucking, you want to do that? And he's like, I'm a wolf. I'm like, yeah, you're a wolf. He wasn't a wolf. I showed him who a wolf is. We showed him. That's, you know what I mean? That's what he wanted. He got all mad, got, pissed and everything. And I was like, all right, you gloves are off.
And that's all it is. Usually, it's because we weren't attacking him; we were asking questions, and I wasn't even really with him.
I just said some. And in my opinion of what I said was different than what he feels, and he didn't like that, and he started just and he wasn't stating any facts or anything like that. He just started calling us names and saying we're all fucking pieces of shit and everything. So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going live when I get out of work tonight. I was like, you want to do this? I was like, I'll come at you with facts, and that's what I did. And that's why the next day he's like, yeah, I can't say nothing. I mean, yeah, I called him some names too, but everything I said was factual, and he couldn't say anything about us, nothing bad, nothing. Except call us a bunch of names.
Hey, Skywork, you said we were harsh though. Okay, he was just as harsh. And like I
if
said,
you
if
saw
you watch
his
the
video
he's
and when he
calling
went
people
off
out.
on us and why he started
Yeah.
calling us out and everything like that, just because of I had a different opinion than him. You know what I mean? And I said it in his chat, and I was just noticing that if people have different opinion of Zen, he goes off on you.
Right.
And I was noticing that. We were friends with Zen. He was on our channel and stuff. I like Zen, even though he believes in his woo-woo that he does and stuff. I was like, all right, whatever. But he started to push that more and more. He wanted to get money, and it was started to be all about money, 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 and his whole thing was changing. And he wanted to get mad, and he just started calling us names and calling all this stuff, and he was like, I'm a wolf, they're the sheep and everything, saying all this shit. After he blocked me, he was asking, he's like, why would you say this? Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. But he wasn't letting me say anything. He blocked me right away, and then he sat there and he talked shit for 2 hours about me. And I was harsh because I came back with facts 100%. All facts, everything based off of everything that you know about him from his channel and everything that he's put out there and all the information that you know about what he talks about, and I laid it all out there of why it's all bullshit. You know what I mean?
That was it.
That was it. And
again,
he even said,
talking.
he's like, I don't blame him for being so. In his video, I have the video and stuff. He even was like, they were right on. He's like, I went off the hinge and stuff, and they had the right to be like that way that they were, and they were spot on. They whooped me. I got a whooping last night. That's what he said. You know what I mean? I have the video. I haven't played it just out of, because we, like I said, I don't have anything against Zen really or whatever and stuff, except like I said, I mean, he is kind of hypocritical. He's like against all these people for woo, yet he uses science and facts to bust all these other people, but there's no actual science and facts to back up his woo.
That's all it is.
And if you disagree with him, that's what happens. He starts calling you names and he flips out and everything like that, and he goes off and he blocks you. Most people don't have a platform like I do to strike back. He was going to get rid of his channel and stuff anyway. He had been talking about it for a few days and stuff. Being like, I'm going all, and it's just going to be people got to pay to get my stuff and everything, and talking about that and everything. And then he made he started to make a video going off because Out of Mind had a different opinion about a subject, a situation than he did. So he made a whole video that started out of being extremely harsh. Nothing but, I mean, everything that he said was just straight up attacking her. There was no facts in anything that he said, yet he kept saying, oh, these are all the facts, but he was just completely trashing her and everybody else who watched him at the time, basically, but just using Out of Mind as the thing, but it applied to anybody else who's similar to Out of Mind and everybody else who watches us. Might as well just do one more.
Yeah. We're going to do a last blunt. So if you got one, roll it, spark it up. And listen, it's not trying to destroy nobody. It wasn't like, oh, we did some fucking celebration dance from him taking
No,
because
because again,
that was not
Zen
the
did
purpose.
do some good work and stuff like that, but he had a motive behind what he was doing. He wanted you to not believe everybody else's woo and come over to his woo, his temple, my teachings, my stuff. Fuck David Wilcock's ascension stuff. I can debunk all that. That's all bullshit, but come over here and listen to my stuff. I know the path. I know this stuff.
Because he was in cults. He's been taught by everybody and stuff.
He knows all this. He knows everything.
I'm just saying, people, all these motherfuckers have been in cults and studied cults and don't want to start cults. It sounds real fucking shady as shit.
And that's what I'm saying. He said, from the day one I started watching him, he always whined, oh, I never get any... All my videos have been demonetized. Oh, why this? Why that? How come David Wilcock's to this? He wanted to be like that. He said, I'd love to have $1 millionaire. How come I don't have subscribers?
Land. Like,
all this stuff, exactly.
In Sedona. And he's talking about everybody else in Sedona that's not the real. Everything else over there, but come here. This is the real shit.
So,
Yeah, and the whole thing about it too, the argument, I wasn't even really part of it. I had been away for a couple months and kind of walked back into it, and he knows the difference between the two of us. He's stated it online before and stuff. He welcomed me back when I first went and commented on his stuff. And he can say whatever he wants. I've given to his thing. I've given to a couple of different people's things. I support who I can support when I can support it, whatever. But you don't call people out about supporting your channel. Listen, there's nobody here is rich. It'll be 7 years in May, a couple months from now, that we've been doing this stuff. All right. At no point have we gotten anything that's given us some up to be here to do this and stuff. There's no paychecks involved in Paranormal Hood Live Radio here on YouTube or when we were on fucking Blog Talk, whatever. But we've stuck it out. We keep doing it. The lights stay on.
Truth doesn't pay. The
on.
truth
We've
shouldn't
grown.
pay.
But even if you feel like you're entitled to something, that's up to people if they want to give it to you. I keep saying there's no suckers. People give to whatever they want to give to and stuff like that. In some cases, there's some people who give and taken advantage of, but I just don't believe that all these people are taken advantage of. People want to believe some shit. They're going to give their money to whatever, whether it be a church, whatever it might be, going to a comic book. They might give their money to whatever, the cocaine, the liquor, the beer, to weed, whatever the fuck they give their money to, they're going to give it. They are entitled to do that. All right, but we've been doing this shit the way we've been doing it, and we continue to do it that way. We've grown and stuff like that, but there's just not money involved in it. You know, people have been able to give us a little bit of money here and there, and we'll make shirts and different things to give back to people. That's how we would do stuff. You know, it just is what it is. We've never thought about getting rich off of this. I don't knock anybody who takes money, but there's a way to do stuff. You don't start knocking your audience because they can't even give $1. You don't know what people's situation are. Just because they're on the internet with you and taking the time to watch your channel, those numbers alone, whether it's one person versus a million person, it should humble you enough to be like, damn, somebody even wants to take the time to spend this time listening to what I'm putting out there. They shouldn't be obligated to give anything. You don't know what people are capable of doing. I would never try to back somebody in the corner trying to figure out what their finances are. You don't call people out. That's just the bullshit I didn't like. I don't like that shit at all.
Exactly, Stina. You don't. He was. That's one of the things. He's like, "Oh, I advertise for you guys and stuff, and this is what you're gonna do." I'm like, "But guess what? You've been on my show.
Like he literally hit us up mid-show, like, you know, I want to come on right now, guys, and we put him on the show. We haven't been on fucking on his show,
and we shouted out and advertised him all the time. We didn't make a video like him and stuff, but all the time we're like, "Go check out the work that Zen's doing." All the time we told people about him. And then he's like, oh, but yeah, exactly. He throws it in your face. That's what he did. Everything he did was just, he was all like throwing in your face like a little kid having a temper tantrum because I didn't like, my opinion was different than him. Our opinions are different. Our opinions may be different. We don't fight. Our opinions may be different. I don't fight. And he, as soon as he read that, he blocked me right away and started to question me, and like I couldn't answer back. So I had to go on another account that because I have two. I have the Paranormal Hood one that you guys are on, and I have my Smoke King one. And so I went on my Smoke King one, and I said something, and he's like, "How do you keep popping up?" He didn't realize, and he blocked me, and he's like, so started to ask me like he's questioning like it because he was controlling it, but I couldn't answer back. Nobody could see what I was saying. Because he was trying to control it, so because he knew that I would say, and I would blow up his thing, and I was like, all right, I got a platform. I'll say what I'm gonna say.
Yes, sir. This is where we do it, and we let people know.
And if I'm wrong, you can show me the facts, or you can show me the proof. And he didn't.
Listen, if you followed this show over the years, there's two things you can consistently understand are going to happen on this show. One is going to be some weed smoke, and two, there's going to be some real fucking talk. That's just how we've always rolled. I mean, in the beginning, because one of the guys was involved, was a kind of a teacher. We didn't swear as much, whatever, but then we were just able to fucking cut loose and just be real, and that's how we've always kept it. So any of these people, too, who don't follow us and don't understand how we roll or have something to say and then get mad the way we retort, that's on them. You should understand who you're talking to, who you're talking about, and what's going to happen. This is where we do it. This is the whole purpose of having these mediums, having this space to do this.
And I'm going to come back. And the thing is, I'm going to come back with facts. I'm going to hit it. You know what I mean? I might have called Zen some names and stuff like that, but everything that I was saying was a fact about what he was doing and stuff like that, and how he was, and what he talks about, and his things was all facts. But I just say it in my way, which isn't like most people.
Dude, it's
you know
gone.
what I mean?
Trust me. We just brought it up because people ask questions. That's, I mean, kind of what the show is about, too. People get to ask questions and who weren't there and don't understand everything.
Not everybody was there,
people
so.
Understand. We're not just fucking assholes who just clapping at people for the hell of it and taking shots. Again, years have been spent. We're not new to this. We didn't just pop up. We might be new to some of you folks, but you can go back to fucking the fucking blog talk days of fucking hundreds of fucking shows have been going on for years of shit. And like you said, we'll tell you if there was a point where we would talk about this stuff, and we've always said we wanted to find the truth to get to the bottom of it. So years spent not even just doing podcasts, but traveling all over this fucking country to different cons, to different events, to everything that had to do from fucking ghosts
Different
to UFOs
places.
to fucking all this fucking new age woo woo shit and stuff like that. Meeting people, talking to people and stuff, getting to know people, a lot of people. A lot of these people we're talking about. So we're just not some fucking Monday morning quarterbacks who fucking go and analyze people's shit just based off of what we've seen on the internet. We're literally out there doing what I like to call boots on the ground. That's how you do work. And at no point, again, I'm fucking at the lowest, I'm fucking 227 pounds right now. So fucking, I haven't been this fucking small since fucking junior high school. So there's nothing intimidating about me except for the fact that I might be tall and black to some folks. But at no point have I had a confrontation with anybody that I have started at any of these places. Everybody can tell you they've sat, chilled, like I said again, smoked weed, drank, hung out. Their wives love me. Everybody thinks fucking JiGGY's fucking cool and shit like that. Don't get it twisted. So there's never been any fucking intimidation, anything involved. They went after fucking, they were more concerned about CW than anything. They've never been concerned about JiGGY going anywhere. I've seen them all. Emery Smith rolling around with his fucking security fucking squad. They're standing right in front of me and shit. Well, what's up, man? Stuff, ignoring my white fucking friend, but trying to, what's up, brother? And blah, blah, blah. And everybody trying to be fucking cool with the big black dude and shit and everything. Come on, man. The work has been put in. That's so it's not anger. It's just an understanding that motherfuckers understand where we come from. We're not just sitting here, a couple of dudes on the couch who once a week for fucking 7 years have just sat here every fucking week and, oh, look what we saw. And I'm not knocking how anybody does it. Everybody doesn't have the ability, the opportunity either to go to some of these things. I've had the luxury of being able to do that. And I will continue to do that. That's what I like to do. That's how you get to meet people. You get to talk to them. And maybe when you really, I say this to this day, I don't know about Travis Walton. I don't know. But he's somebody who I've been around a few times now and talked to, and he just seems like a real genuine person. Now, whether or not his story is genuine, I can't verify it. I just know that I like Travis Walton, and I'd like to believe that maybe his story out of a lot of these stories might possibly be true. Not saying it is. You're not going to get JiGGY on some fucking hill with a Travis Walton flag planting it like, yeah, I'm all in. I'm just saying he's a really cool guy. Ben Hansen, who John D'Souza looked me in the face and said that Ben Hansen, he could not find an agent Ben Hansen anywhere. That never happened, that he wasn't a real agent. I know Ben Hansen's a cool motherfucker. Spent a lot of time around him too over the years doing stuff. There's some people who are cool. Robert Schock, I can name some real cool motherfuckers.
I can also show you that John D'Souza wasn't he's an FBI agent, but he wasn't an FBI agent.
I think it's CW because I want to make sure I'm giving the right person who said that he told him that he was a fucking attorney or something.
Yeah, he's like a book guy. He's like, I think like an accountant, attorney, something like that.
But those are the people they come and find.
He wasn't in the field.
They go and find the person
like
in the back room who's in the obscure thing because they know that person can handle those tasks.
Alfie, you got the coronavirus? I hope you feel better, my friend.
Is he serious?
No.
Oh.
He's just got bronchitis, but you know what I mean?
So, it is what it is.
Yeah, pineapple's good and stuff, but if you want to heal from, you'd have to eat a whole shitload of pineapple to get the amount of stuff that you need. You can actually just go and buy the actual concentrated, what's it, bromine, something, whatever it is, and pineapples that's good for your cough and your lungs and everything like that. You can buy like organic, capsules of it and stuff like that's way stronger, so you don't have to eat like 5 pineapples every 25 minutes.
Well, damn. Fuck, is he King Kong? Shit.
Because the amount that's in one pineapple, and you'd have to eat like a whole bunch of pineapple for it to actually really.
So you got that e-smoking bronchitis. I don't know what that is, but you need to get the blunts.
No, from smoking e-cigarettes.
Oh. Be careful, my friend. As I'm coughing.
Actually, I have freaking bottles of that stuff upstairs. I should go get it so I can tell you the exact name of it. It starts with if you look it up, you'll be able to see. But you can get capsules of it and stuff, and it's, you know what I mean? You can eat pineapple too, but to actually get it to enough that's actually going to do something and help you, effectfully, you got to take it in a more higher doses of the stuff that you can actually get from eating, just sitting there eating some pineapple and drinking a little bit of pineapple juice. You got to drink a shitload of pineapple juice or eat a shitload of pineapple.
You said the bummer about edibles is having to wait. Man, listen, I'll be honest with you. Other than like the stuff like his popcorn and stuff, because edibles take a while to really get to me, and they've never really hit me.
Well, they have to. Edibles. That's the thing with edibles. You only really have to wait the first time you take it. Once it's in your system, just make sure you're taking it every so often so you're high throughout the day. And if you really time edibles right, if you take it right before bed, you're still high enough right in the morning when you wake up that you take it, and it just keeps going. Because, yeah, when you take edibles, it's got to go down, it's got to go through you and stuff, but it's 3 times stronger. But it's a different high versus smoking it also. It's enzymes in it, but it actually has a name. It's bromine. Fucking look it up.
What do you motherfuckers
There's all
find
kinds of
giant? Let us know,
enzymes.
though.
There's certain ones and there's certain vitamins or whatever.
I'm gonna go see if I can stand next to Taco Fall and take a picture. No? I'll try to make it happen. I don't have the connections I used to. My opinion is completely different. Learning about someone's perspective is how people grow. Understanding where someone comes from. I like the title in my Native American culture. Giants are real. I get what you're saying. It's Bella Death, right? Yeah. It's not knocking anybody else's belief, truths, or whatever. All we're saying is that, in all honesty, we would just like to see proof of it. And we're in the whole cog of all this stuff compared to a lot of people, whatever. Most people be like, well, why would anybody want to show you proof and stuff like that? Because as a paying customer who has been to all these fucking things and everything over the years, I would like someone to show me and everybody else in our audience who keep paying money to see these people speak and talk about all this crazy stuff, show some proof. That's all.
Well, I don't know how much of the show, if you've watched the whole thing, Bella Death and everything, we've already went into the explanation for where the Native American culture and stuff gets their stories and their myths of giants and stuff like that. It's already been explained. I wasn't able to show the video and everything because YouTube's not going to allow everything that you do that and stuff. But I can just show you the other videos and stuff that can show you. It's nothing against the stories and stuff, but you have to understand where the stories of these people, where you know what I mean, how the stories come about and everything in all cultures and stuff, and especially back then, and why they thought the way that they thought about things in the stories that they came of. There's stories of people that worship the trees or this and that, and the trees did this, and the sun does this and everything like that. But we now know because of science and understanding things. You know what I mean? Most of the Native American culture stories of giants come from the Native Americans finding old dinosaur bones and old bones and stuff like that, and not knowing that they're dinosaur bones or they're mammoth bones and stuff like that, because they're only finding pieces, and then they come back with these stories of giants, and it becomes these myths and these tales and everything, and it's passed down. That's where a lot of these stories come from. Same thing with stories in the Bible and everything like that, of these myths and tales.
50 years old, I'm still waiting for Jesus to come.
We know now that when you look at all the pictures that they say that are real bones of humans and stuff, we know that they're not humans. We can test these things. We know these things and stuff like that. There are no giant bones ever. There's no proof. There's no nothing. There's nothing. So
if they existed, we just would like to see proof. Same thing with aliens. Same thing with anything else. That's it. That's really what it comes down to.
So yeah, that's what it comes down to. And like I was saying, the Native American cultures too. When you look at the stories, especially where the stories are really strong with giants, they coalesce with tribes and stuff that were in areas where there's a high concentration of dinosaur bones and of mammoth bones. So it all comes down to, I mean, it's nothing against them and nothing against the stories of these cultures and stuff like that. It's just you have to have an understanding that a lot of these stories, there's not true stories. There's some truth to them and stuff. They might have thought, because they thought these were things, so they came up with these stories of where they came from, you know what I mean, at the time. Oh, Grandpa, where did this thing come from? Oh, back in the day, there was these big giants or whatever and stuff, and we used to have battles with them, and we fought them all off.
These are also the same people who walk to school barefoot 40 miles each way in the snow.
Exactly, it's the same thing. Like exactly the stories that your grandparents tell you about all these crazy things that might have happened in the war or what happened to them during the Great Depression and stuff like that and everything, that were just a little stretch of the truth and stuff like that. So You know, a lot of them are good stories and everything like that. And there's some good lessons in a lot of the stories and everything. When you look at all this stuff, same thing with the Bible. There's some good lessons. There's some good stuff in the Bible. But to believe it all is real and factual evidence and truth to it is no, because we know that you know.
There might have been a dude
People
named
are
Jesus.
storytellers and people want to be entertained by stories.
Jesus probably, too. They probably changed his name. Jesus is probably really some Mexican dude, and they were like, we're going to call him. I mean, his name
We
was
like
Jesus.
telling stories and we like listening to stories. Some people like to tell stories more than others, and others like to listen more than others. And then some like a mix of an equal of both.
Once
You know,
a
but
girl
for the
from
most
Nantucket.
part, there's more people that like to be entertained by stories than there are actual storytellers. But everybody's a little bit of a storyteller in their own way, and you know what I mean.
Hey,
So
we
yeah,
all
we're not
could be Hollywood
knocking.
writers,
We're
right?
not knocking those cultures and that have those things. We're knocking people, and we're talking about the people that spread those things and use them and cherry pick it as evidence of their crazy ass stories and stuff like that. Basically, using that and the evidence that we know about this. Then there's actually I have some other stuff I should have brought up the articles. I'm not gonna do it now because I definitely gotta go upstairs and go to bed after this blunt. But there is stuff with his Native American tribes and actual, not just you know what I mean. As Billy Carson would call him, you know what I mean, the backyard archaeologist or the backyard guy that he finds and you know what I mean, that doesn't know anything really, that just pretends to know, the village idiot guy, but actual native tribes and stuff that explain what a lot of these myths and stories were implying and stuff like that, and you know what I mean nowadays, because we know
come,
because
we'll tell
of
you a
science,
backyard story.
because you know Native American people aren't just naive people and stuff. They actually
at all.
open-minded people. They understand and stuff, so they can understand and equate a lot of this stuff now because we know and understand ourselves. Other people have figured out and they've figured out and stuff and gone to school and understand how these things work. And we understand the sciences of these things and everything like that, you know.
So, definitely not taken away from the culture at all. Just an understanding of certain things. That's all.
I'm trying to take away the culture of the liars.
Yeah. The people who take other people's stories and try to make them their own and
cherry
fucking
pickers,
spin bullshit on them and
snake oil salesmen.
I hear something bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
You have got to be kidding.
This last blunt's almost smoked.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for this week, everybody. Went real late tonight, although we started late, but until next week, we'll figure out what we're going to do.
You know where to find us? You may see us before Thursday, but if not...
As far as... Exactly. Thank you all for being here.
Tell a
Bella
friend, be a
Death, Stina
friend.
Bobina, Alfie, Out of
Hit
Mind.
the like button, please.
Fascination Street. Everybody else who was here. UFO Gandalf, Victor. Peace and love, everybody.
Dank Alliance. Keep fighting the good fight, folks.
Spread the truth.
Fuck the haters.
Hit them with the facts.
Hit them with the hind.
Peace and love.